All right. Well, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Where's Chuck?
He left right as we
Chuck's
started.
not ready.
God damn it.
Is Lily in Arizona? Like,
That's a good cold open. He literally disappeared the second you got ready to start.
This is Jonah Hill, and you're listening to the only podcast that matters.
Bro Gang, we are joined by the wizard of the written word, the Four Pins Prince, the last blog on earth is this man's IG story, the Don Dada of Detroit, the Wabi Sabi Sultan, life's not just good, it's muy bien, the Fashion Week Pharaoh, the head honcho of that one hojo downtown here in New York, the governor of the garden, everyone's favorite Moy Toy, the Raj of the rare John. He comes in peace, and I don't mean his small little gold chain, it's Jon Moy.
Jon Moy.
That was amazing. I've never had one of those.
We're going to talk a lot about the experience because you kind of had like the only podcast that matters junior experience, I guess.
But it's just you and the Safdie bros that had that.
Sure.
I did do that.
But it's a rare club that maybe you don't want to.
I called you the engineer and engineered garments.
Ooh.
That's right. That is right. My bad, Chuck.
Damn, why didn't you give me that one?
Damn, you're telling me somebody engineered this garment?
Wait, Chuck, did you bounce while we were starting to
he is
punish your cat or to grab that bong?
Huge hits.
Chauncey was up to no good again, so I had to go get him.
Is he eating more bread?
Yeah, he's a carbsman.
He's carbo loading.
Like stung like his daddy.
Wow.
Damn.
Moy, thank you
far from the Chuck.
Thank you for zooming all the way in from the D, I guess. The 313.
Yeah.
Glad to have you on. This is a long time coming, and you already know what the fuck going on.
Yeah,
Larry, you want to set this off right?
I'm just so happy that John, one of our greatest friends, professional peers, is finally doing the proper fucking gauntlet. You know what I'm saying? Not that, again, Chuck didn't do a good job, but he didn't. Most people.
I had a great time.
Most people gave that 2 thumbs down, big old stinker. No, I'm kidding. I don't know.
Well, you had a great time, but that doesn't mean the audience had a great time, right?
Yeah. Let's be clear.
That's the difference between
But let's be clear. Do you guys ever care if the audience has a good time?
Fuck no.
There are bosses. There are bosses. They pay. They're like we are the police. We are the police to their citizenry. They pay our taxes, but their taxes pay our salary.
Not when it's free. When it's free, it's playtime for the boys. We do whatever the fuck we want. You don't have to be here. Anyway, John, welcome, buddy.
Great attitude, Lawrence. You don't have to be here. Everyone just turn it off. You don't have to be here.
I'm trying to make it less of a kind of pressure-filled environment for John.
Well, now that everyone's gone, there's absolutely no pressure. So
there's method to the madness that was by design, John. The fit check floor is yours, sir. Top down, bottom up. I don't even care because I love you so much. Go off, King.
All right, I'm gonna do bottom up.
Thank you.
I got the 18 East hotel slippers.
Ooh. Very nice.
What did those? Because those are a gift usually that come with other Johns that you purchase. What'd you cop?
Antonio just sent me like them and like the terry cloth hat and stuff, just like as a friends and family thing. I think.
Do those slippers remind you of your favorite hotel, the Howard Johnson in Chinatown?
Yeah, it was a Best Western plus.
Best Western.
Best Western on the Bowery. Yeah,
okay.
that place had heated floors.
Yes, it did. So you didn't need slippers is what you're saying.
I didn't need slippers at the Best Western. No.
The only thing better than 18 East slippers is getting heated floors installed wherever you're staying at.
And that hotel's shut down now, right?
For sure.
Probably.
No, even like before COVID. I also thought that you should stay like the Yotel in Midtown. Or
the Yotel,
dude. Once.
Yeah.
It was the $50 price line.
You weren't at the Holiday Inn.
Yeah.
Oh, but that was my most recent go-to is the Holiday Inn on Delancey because it was like just remodeled. It's great. You can't beat it.
I think the only 2 people ever on record are staying at the Yotel are Jon Moy and Chief Keef. I believe
that's good company.
I mean, that's like you and the Safdie bros doing a Chuck hosted podcast. Basically.
You're both 15 years old when you stayed there.
Yeah, well,
Nice.
Yotel. The weirdest thing about the Yotel is that it's
called the
like
Yotel.
A cruise ship. No, that's not. That's what I thought.
That's the coolest part, actually.
But it's like themed like a spaceship, like a cruise ship. So everything's like a deck.
Does Lil Uzi stay there? Is that his hotel choice?
It's the weirdest shit. It's the weirdest place.
I always thought it was
Join
a
Me on
pod
the
hotel.
Bridge type deck. That kind of when you say deck, you mean
Yeah, like that, and like
starship.
the rooms are called cabins.
Oh no, like
Shit.
a boating cruise ship,
Well,
like
a
an old
cruise
folks
ship.
cruise ship.
or a
Cruise
spaceship,
ship,
but it's
spaceship.
it's
they're both
futuristic,
kinda,
dude.
Yeah, but
the
it's like
shit
futuristic.
is a glowing purple monolith on the west side. It's ridiculous.
I always thought it was a pod hotel where it's just like you're in like a casket type thing, and you have like a TV and like a coat, like one coat.
little.
and they launch
the
you. And
bed
they
is like
launch
a
you into the river
Craftmatic.
where you belong.
No
Like,
way,
so, like-
really? It had those hospital beds. Damn it.
What?
Kind of. Yeah, so it's like if you wanted it to be like a couch, you'd like hit this button and it's
It's a futon. It's a futon.
Yeah, it was so it was a robotic futon.
It was like a robo futon. It was the craziest place I've ever been. Yeah.
All right, shout out
That's
to
why I
Yotel.
only stayed there once.
Right. I mean, pretty sure everyone that stays at the Yotel only stays there once.
Yeah.
To be
Yotel Hotel.
yeah.
Holiday Inn.
Shout out to Yotel, sponsor the pod. All right, John, working your way up. Are you wearing any socks?
No socks.
No socks. Pants?
No socks.
Are you wearing
Then-
pants?
Shorts.
Shorts.
It's
What
nice
shorts?
out today. So
What's
I
the
got like
weather?
It's like it was like
Indeed.
70
Don't ask the
degrees.
weather. What shorts are you wearing?
Damn, okay.
Pa, like these green.
Oh, pa.
Yeah.
Yo,
Is that how you say it?
do you own the
Mhm.
other green shorts? The only green shorts the only shorts period that matter?
No. I got the
You're not a cop.
t-shirt
All
though.
right.
Oh, nice.
That's cool.
What did you think of the t-shirt?
I
Overall
really like the
impressions?
t-shirt. That was like I bought it instantly. Yeah, that was.
Lawrence, you gonna ask him about you gonna ask him about the blanks quality?
No, we're past that now.
Was that an internal debate?
No.
No.
That was a unanimous
Oh.
decision, but Lawrence gets made fun of on like the Reddit and the Discord for being like, yo, the blank's so sick, bro. What do you think of the blank quality? So
No,
It's a
sick.
big part of a t-shirt.
No,
No,
but-
we literally went through a gauntlet of like 20 different blanks to settle on that. It was a toss up between
Yeah, the way that I talk about our blank R&D, I think that people perceive that as like, oh man, I'm in the fucking loom, and we're like,
Yeah.
making it like I'm not. There's no proprietary fabrics. We just went with the best bang for your motherfucking buck, which is Gildan motherfucking Hammer Time, Hammerstein Ballroom.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's true.
But anyway, people don't understand us, John.
the
We're
TF.
operating on a different plane, so sometimes
TF Hammer.
things get lost in translation.
You guys didn't go to that prefecture where they make like all the self-edge cotton and stuff in Japan?
Next
No.
time.
Okay.
Next tee, next
That'll be the
merch.
next. That'll be the next T-shirt. It'll be completely salvaged denim T-shirt.
like running the mill.
Yeah, John, can you clarify something? You remember the denim cutaway collar shirt that we made for Run of the Mill?
Hell yeah.
All right, so
Was it
James
was Missy Elliott music videos? Was that the inspiration on the mood board?
What?
It
by
was shiny as hell.
James's recollection is that it was shiny,
some Mark Echo denim.
but it was it was still washed matte denim. It wasn't shiny at all.
It was not shiny. It was LBI.
I must have gotten a production error because my shit was fucking glowing. It looked like I belonged at the Yotel.
You put it on. You look like Dr. Manhattan.
I don't remember it being shiny.
It wasn't.
It was
I just
shiny.
wanted to clear that up.
It was
because
shiny. I have it. I either threw it out or
You don't
donated
have
it.
it.
But no, I don't have
threw
it.
it out. Yeah, he definitely didn't do it. He burned it like fucking Burberry on the roof of his building just to be an asshole.
Mason 98 borrowed it from me.
I'm sick of this. He said, she said, run of the mill revisionist history. It was ahead of its time. The products were all bangers, and I hope James, you have 10 questions lined up for both John and
zero.
myself. Oh well,
No, I don't.
What?
Well, why would we talk about Why would we talk about history? Let's talk about what will be.
Okay.
Anyway.
All right. Speaking of what will
which.
be, what will the T be in your fit check, John?
What will the
Oh,
TV?
316 pocket Pima tee.
Nice.
Yeah. And then Rototo hat.
Rototo. Is that the beanie? You're known as a beaniesman. You wear a beanie almost all the time. Is Rototo your go-to right now, or has been your
Right
go-to?
now,
Is
yeah.
Rototo your Goto?
Yeah, I really like it. It's just
Rototo in
kinda
go
like a
mode.
soft knit. But it's also like the last beanie I bought, so that's kind of how it goes.
Are you
wear
on
this
are
yellow
you
one a lot? This is the new
Yeah, it's
chosen
comfy.
crown for the king.
Yeah,
Are you on 316 like flow team everything?
not everything. I mean, I could probably ask, but I don't feel comfortable doing that. So
Sure.
I actually bought these just to like support.
Did you
but they
buy
did
them
flip-
from your newsletter so to make your kind of conversion
Yeah,
rate look better?
of course.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah.
I got like 20 different emails to like open it through. I get that engagement, get that
Yeah,
sales funnel
absolutely.
booming.
Smart man.
But yeah, they sent me the thing they did with the jacket they did with 18 East. And you sent
Oh,
me that was sick.
Big fire. The reversible fleece, right?
Yeah, it's dope.
Nice. And then what about what are your shades? I know this is like your frame. What's
These are just Ray-Bans.
Oh, really? There are club masters that you put
just
lenses
put clear,
in.
regular lenses.
How they look? They look fucking good, man.
Thank you.
How long has that been your
The half Chinese Malcolm X.
How long has that been your go-to?
Well, the glasses?
Yeah.
A while now. A minute.
Really?
I think before that. Yeah, probably.
Did you always do club masters?
I had
10
like
years?
some rimless ones, but yeah, it's probably been like eight years at least. Yeah.
Damn, dude.
Unless we forget the panties.
Yes.
What's
sir.
on your dick?
Uniqlo.
Boxers,
Uniqlo?
briefs?
No, boxers.
Yes.
Boxers.
Yeah, I don't wear boxer briefs. Come on, I'm at home. I'm not wearing tight
Why
pants.
don't you wear boxer briefs? Let's let the man speak.
No, it's specific to like the pants I'm wearing, like tighter pants. You're gonna wear boxer briefs because you don't want like your lines and shit. But boxers are more comfortable. You gotta let it breathe, man. It's good health.
It's me, Yoakum, the designer, the founder of Our Legacy, and Jon Moy. That is some rare fucking air. Get on board or get run over.
A lot of exclusive clubs are being shouted out on this episode. But you do get, James, that if John was leaving, well, I guess it's not about leaving the house. It's about the pants or the whatever you're wearing when you leave.
Well, he's what.
But it's like 98% boxers.
He's what certain communities call verse. Right.
Yeah. There you go.
Yes.
Yes.
I believe in another community that's called switching up. So and switching sides.
I'm not afraid to switch it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And jewelry. What about the little the he comes in peace?
It's like a little lion head. I don't know.
Roar.
There's a story behind that, correct?
Yeah, there are actually two of them, and my grandma used to wear them as earrings, and I used to always tease her because they're big for earrings. And so then when she died, she left me one, and then my mom got me like a box link.
Oh, beautiful stuff. Do you have any doing any rings, watch, nothing?
No.
Just the chain.
Yeah, I mean I have like my dad's like gold Seiko. It's like a little digital like quartz Seiko, but that's about it.
Cool.
If I wear a watch.
And what's up with the beard? Because you've gone like the full gamut from like big fucking Gandalf shit to like is this mostly goatee? What are we
This is a shadow with a goatee. It looks like a stash, right?
Yeah, maybe more stash.
I love it. It looks great.
Yeah. I I like it a little fuller, but it fucks with masks. You know, they're not as safe with,
right?
You know, so I had to like trim it up.
You look like a dirty Frenchman with an STD in the sexiest way possible.
Thank you,
John. Can I ask you a loaded question about facial hair? I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like you lost weight and you changed your facial hair. Or like your strategy. Is that correct? Have you thought about that?
I mean, my weight definitely fluctuates. But
I feel like as you've gotten skinnier and just so hot, you've been doing less of like the full beard that at least I'm used to seeing you in. I mean, this is over the course of, I feel like the past
let that face ring.
But have you thought about that? Because I don't know if you can tell, but I've lost a couple. Yeah, I'm thinking about like
what svelte.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. I wish I didn't have to prompt you to say that.
Yeah.
But beggars can't be choosers, apparently. But I've been thinking a lot about like, could I just go stash or goatee? Still the shadow, obviously, but you look great, dude. I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
I mean, like it definitely. I probably am like less averse to like shaving it up more frequently now that I'm a little skinnier. Because thankfully I like lost it here.
Exactly.
But you don't always. But I think like I've kind of been leaning towards mustaches lately anyway.
Movember, right? Happy Movember.
Oh yeah. But I think everyone looks good. If you can grow like a good mustache. But the like putting the toe in the pool is definitely like doing the shadow with the stash, because then you can just like switch it up. But I had like a full just a mustache once in my life.
How was that?
Yeah.
Did you get arrested?
Your memories?
Were you told to stay away from all the schools?
So I was visiting my sister who was living in like just outside of Shanghai at the time. And then I just didn't bring like clippers. So like the only thing I could get a hold of was like a safety razor or whatever. And so I was like, fuck it. And I was just kind of goofing around. And so then I just like came down and was like goofing around with like a full mustache. And then it was great.
Mustache goofing.
Goofing with a full stash. You know the vibes.
Good feedback.
Full stash goofing.
You didn't go to the barbers that are on the street in China?
No, well, because she was running like this restaurant like slash like bar thing that was in like a mountain. It's called Moganchan. It's like kind of like a retreat. So it was like super kind of rural. There wasn't like anyone like that there. So, but then the only fucked up thing is like in my passport, it was like full beard. And I went to Japan.
Oh, damn.
And the Japanese customs were like,
It's
Yeah, they're
you.
pretty wary
It's
of
you.
foreigners. They're pretty wary of foreigners.
and I
Yeah.
just didn't look like my passport photo because I just had a goofy ass mustache.
Fire.
Business or pleasure, Mr. Moy.
A little bit of both.
Pleasure or leisure. All right. Is that a
Check
complete?
complete.
Oh, how about your? What are you sipping on there?
Yeah, do you have a drink?
Pellegrino.
Nice. Are you a
All right,
mineral water guy?
A disposable
Yeah,
plastic
big-
bottle. Very cool.
I mean, that's how they
What do you
sell them,
got?
bro.
Suck it.
Yeah, in a
Oh.
can.
Wow.
But
read
wait,
this, so
are
don't
you a
worry.
mineral water? Are you brand loyal to Pellegrino and then you prefer mineral water?
I'm not necessarily brand loyal, but they got them cheap at like cases of it at Costco. So
Nice.
I'll fuck with that.
Oh,
heavy.
right. You're brand loyal to Costco is really what
Yeah.
we're.
I mean, they got
You
deals.
Yeah,
Cops
know?
in bulk.
yeah,
My man's
When
bulking
you got
up.
a car, Costco is the shit.
sure.
You know what
That's
I mean?
fair.
But yeah, I'm a mineral water.
When you
sparkling
have
water.
a Chevy Blazer literally on its last leg, Costco
Just
is the move.
yo, the Blazer is done.
What? What?
Yeah, end of an era.
When? How recently? Or did you tweet about this? Has this been out there? Is this public info?
No.
The Blazer's done?
No, I don't
Damn,
think
yo!
public info.
Thank you for your service. Late
What's
to
next?
rest.
What are you pushing now?
Just a Chevy Cruise right now.
Okay.
But I am like working on. I have like a Carmen Ghia from like the 72 Carmen Ghia, and I really want to convert it to electric.
Oh wow!
So
Yeah,
that's
you a real
the,
man's
that's the
man.
next project.
How many miles?
Nick Grant, his lasting image of you is pulling up in the fucking
Yeah.
toasted and roasted Chevy
the
Blazer,
roasted
but-
Blazer.
Just
having
just toast.
having a Pellegrino in the
High
shitty
low.
fucking sig-filled cup.
I
holder.
mix it high low. You got to, and it was a cracked windshield at the time.
Yes,
It was, like,
yes,
all fucked
absolutely.
up.
It looked like an iPhone.
How many miles?
How many miles? Like 180,
Okay.
easy.
It's pretty good.
Damn.
Yeah,
All right.
R.I.P.
Moy,
end of an era.
I was reminded of this by podcast number 2 of the 7 that we've done this week. Let's get into the meat and potatoes of this podcast.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
As you know,
Right in.
3 main subjects of this podcast, the only podcast that matters, are money,
Ka-ching.
meats and cheeks.
And you know what? Honestly, for Jon Moy, let's just give him just a quick little daddy satsa.
Wow,
And most
those are hard to come by
importantly,
now.
Mm-hmm. They're very hard to come by.
most importantly, the goddamn motherfucking boys, ourselves, Jimmy, Larry, the co-hosts of the only podcast that matters, TM. We're going to start with ourselves, the most important thing. So, like us, the co-host, you might have read about this in the New Yorker. They wanted to do the profile in print. We said, no, do it online, put it in front of the paywall. That's what makes us the people's champs. There's a profile on us becoming podcasters. You are now becoming a podsman. There was a trailer that came out recently. I subscribed to Blammo Patreon just to hear the whole thing. It was a trailer for the Jon Moy podcast, aka Jon Moy's Mad Rants on the Blammo Media Network. And that's all we've gotten for months and months and months. It's shit is like the Cardi leaks. Like, when are we getting your pod for real? And like, can you just explain to everyone what the concept is?
Yeah.
It's still kind of in development. I'm not gonna front. With Jeremy Kirkland, friend of the pod. Yeah, like right when this all started, like quarantine and everything, he just hit me up and was like, yo, I just want to like hear your voice on things. And so it's basically like a conversation him and I have, and then they just kind of like edit him out. So it's just sort of like me talking about whatever.
You're just having an
catches my
insane
fancy.
monologue.
Right.
Yeah.
Just
And like
screaming
the idea
at
is to
cloud.
keep it like
Yeah.
short.
Old
So like
man
probably
yells at cloud.
15 to 30 minutes is going to be the length.
You want to do 3
Really?
hours, 4 hour, a 4 hour rant?
I mean, I think like that's a lane I but just by my own voice.
There's
too,
mini
you can't-
pods. There is a precedent that has been set where like a lot of pods do these like kind of
I was
mini
being
things
facetious.
that I think in this format kind of lends itself to like what people love about John, like with the 4 pins writing, where it's like, yo, this dude's just gonna like go off, almost like run on sentence mode activated, but in audio format, and you get that beautiful
Thank
nugget.
you for
I'm
answering
excited.
John's question
I'm
for him,
excited.
Lawrence.
Yeah.
I mean, you want if I ever have to do a media tour, I'm definitely gonna.
Can I be your?
Are you gonna come back on throwing fits? Yeah, Lawrence is just gonna
Yeah,
talk.
yeah.
Lawrence is just gonna explain the pod for you.
This
Yeah,
is kind of
great.
this is how it works with you and Jeremy, right? Like I'm gonna edit you out and like just do the whole thing. It's
Jon Moy's Mad Rants featuring Lawrence. Is Lawrence talking for 6 hours?
yeah, right. Long form rants.
So what does in development mean? Because like for us, you fucking give us some a drink or two, you throw us some mics in front of us, and like we just go. What does it mean to be in development? Because we're fucking raw. We're rowdy. We're too hot for TV. We're too hot for New Yorker print. Like why? Tell us why the refining process is taking so long with the Jon Moy's Mad Rants, because we fucking want this, bro. I don't say any other podcast. I don't say any other podcast to listen to your shit.
I think it's also, I don't have guests for the most part. Like I might sprinkle them in there, like, as special
TBD.
editions. Yeah, TBD. But honestly, it's also like just a lot of shit happened in between, like deciding to do it and then starting to do it. Like Jeremy is moving. There's just like tons of shit going on. I was also super sick at the beginning of all of this, but ironically
COVID?
not with COVID.
Thank
no.
God.
But it was like I was sick for like 3 weeks, so I had like a bronchial
Diarrhea?
infection.
Jesus
shit.
Christ.
Yeah, so it was like super scary. Like the first like couple months, I was like terrified because I was also here by myself, and so I didn't do anything.
You did those Trump drugs. That Dex.
I wish. Yeah, I just got like amoxicillin.
Yeah, standard, classic. Sure, dude. Can't go wrong with the
That's also how I
Medicare
like
for all.
lost some weight, though. I'm not gonna lie, I just like wasn't eating.
Whatever gets the job done, sweetie.
Right?
That's what I say.
Did you swallow tapeworm? Is that what happened?
No, I wish I was like that forward thinking. I just got like sick, man. Just super sick. It sucked.
So what's
you have an idea of what topics your Mad Rants are going to cover? While guests are obviously TBD, I'm assuming you're going to be ranting and raving, but is it going to be about like gear? Is it going to be about like weird kind of like history deep cuts? Because I know you fucking love yourself some of that, which clearly the preview kind of leaned on. It wasn't like anything necessary. Well, I mean, you talked about like swag and shit, but it was very different than I think maybe what people who are fans of history might expect.
Yeah, I mean, like definitely like weird historical ephemera that I've been like super like obsessed with. Like weird science stuff. Like I've always been like kind of like into that. And then like definitely still gear and fashion but probably more of like a commentary than anything else. Or like,
so I think when people think rant, they think like you're picking something apart and like tearing it down. But I would say this isn't like a negative rant, right? This is more just like you kind of like, it's like rambling. You're rambling.
Yeah, it's more like a tangent.
That's bad too. Rambling.
No, you're like you're just like talking to yourself about like the things that you've seen that you're in. Yeah, it's tangents upon tangents.
Yeah, it's kind of like all the tangents that
wrapped
like,
in a ramble.
You might spin off into maybe because you're into gear or whatever. Like I'm always like super into like gang shit, which is where like the Tong stuff came from.
Activity.
Like, gang aesthetics and stuff. And they had like very clear aesthetics and stuff going through the years, like the New York Tongs.
Did you ever, you mentioned Gangs in New York. I assumed you meant the film. Did you ever read the book?
I didn't. I haven't read the book. No, I'm a Philistine. I just watched
Read the book.
I heard it's really good.
The book is fucking wild. And like, you don't think you're like, this is not real. And then you're like,
5 points, baby. That's what we're talking about, right? That's,
5 points. Well, it's called Gangs in New York.
Dead rabbits.
Yep.
All those motherfuckers.
Yeah. And, like,
the woman with the claws was real.
Like, big into it. Yeah.
The woman with the fucking shaved teeth was real?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Pell Street, Pell Street in Chinatown, that was called like Murderer's Elbow or some shit.
Yeah.
Pell Street?
Yeah.
People's elbow, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, they called them like
Murdered.
hatchet men or high binders because they would just like run around with like
this one dude, this famous. Okay, it's called a bar because they would literally just take a fucking giant 2x4 and prop it up on 2 barrels, and that was like at like drinking height. And then there's one thing they show a shot of it in Gangs in New York, but basically for a penny, you could take a sip from the dregs, where they would take everyone's drinks and just pour them into a barrel, and for 1 penny you get to suck on a straw from it.
That's my dream.
You could order liquid cocaine, but it could make you go blind.
Nice.
And,
because you literally drop it into your
no, you drink it.
Oh, okay.
But like the side effects are blindness. And then one gang leader was kind of a mercenary. He's kind of like a badass like Lone Ranger type. He got so fucked up one night he fell asleep near the water, and he woke up, and these giant rats that are like the size of like cats had like eaten the lower half of his body.
You've told this story before. This is awesome. Yeah, maybe
You
I
should have
read
like
the
a
book.
little tour. Like after COVID, you should just do a Gangs in New York tour down there. It's like
Yeah.
I'm a professional podcaster.
What about
I don't
James
need to do
Harris's
tours.
Mad Rants behind the paywall? And you could just do your Gangs of New York. You should just do an audio book of this. You should just read it.
Is your intro music? What's his name? Why be in Namir? Gang. Intro music.
Nice. That is good outro music. Wait, John, I have a question for you. So when I was listening to the pod, it very much reminded me of your writing. And obviously having edited you, one of the great joys of my professional career for a long time, making you funnier, making you sound smarter. But the way that you talk, and this might be like the editing, so shout out to Jeremy, and that the way that you write, to me, it's such a parallel. And that makes me remember like why I think a lot of people think that you're such a good writer, because it's so conversational, and I think unique in kind of, you know, a signature way, because like you do kind of ramble, and obviously the run-on sentence kind of, you know, that can link up there. Like, is this something you thought about when you're like, I want to try podcasting? You're like, I'm going to try to translate the writing into an audio format. Does it just come naturally? Have you not thought about it whatsoever? And I'm giving you.
Honestly, I hadn't thought about it, but Jeremy had. And so like Jeremy was like, look, just like write down like a quick outline, and then just like he was like, pretend like we're just talking on the phone. And like, you're just telling me about this shit. So he would just be like, wait, what? And then I would just like keep going or whatever. Right. But yeah, I mean, I think like my writing is probably smoother than the way I talk. There's like a lot more ums and pauses, and it's like definitely way more disjointed.
No one writes
And if you do, you might have CTE. You might be Rob Gronkowski.
But yeah, no, there wasn't a lot of thought. I mean, I think like that's probably the true like link between the two, is like there isn't like a lot of thought other than like finding out the inspiration and like sort of where I want to go, and then like I'll probably have like a beginning and an end point, and then how we get there is just kind of like I just fill it in.
Right. It's about the journey, not the destination.
Yeah.
The real rants are the real rants are the ones we made along the way.
Yeah.
What's been the hardest part? I mean, I know you haven't done it really, but like so far, in terms of just like doing a pod, what's been the hardest part for you?
I mean, I think it's like finding the time.
What do you have going on?
What else are you doing?
You know, I mean, I think like, well, because I like do it with Jeremy too, right? So like he's on it too. I think anything for me like creatively is always like getting started is really hard. Like I don't want to say it's like writer's block or anything like that, but it's just definitely, it's always like, I fucking gotta do it.
Is it easier than writing for you based on the limited amount that you've done? Can you already tell like this?
No,
James and I do it.
Harder.
Really?
No, it's way harder. Yeah, I think it's way harder. I don't think
you got to trust. Can I give you some advice? You got to trust, and you got to put the onus on your editors. You're lucky to have editors. We don't have editors, right? So like anything we say makes it in there,
and can be used against us in the court of law,
except for the odd bleep and bloop and hate speech from Chuck. But everything else makes it in. So you just got to trust the editors. No, nothing. So everything you say.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're just one take God.
Well, if the guest is like, if there's a hill that the guest wants to die on, like we don't give a fuck. Like we have no journalistic integrity.
We have no journalistic integrity.
But
I did win a Pulitzer, so that I guess we have some journalistic integrity.
You won a Pulitzer in having so little integrity.
Exactly.
It's one of those. It's like a Razzie.
Well, no, I mean we understand that it's hard. Like when Mary H.K. Choi was on here, and I know you guys are homies, or maybe I'm just saying that because you're both like Asian. So my apologies for that. But I know she's a fan, but she was like, yo, you just got to, like Mahatma Gandhi said, just do it.
Yeah. I mean, I think like that's probably the most salient advice for any of this shit is like, and like my probably biggest failing is I'll spend like way more time thinking about something than like doing it.
Thinking of doing it?
You know what I mean?
Like thinking of doing it.
Thinking of talking?
Yeah.
All right.
Look,
all right,
everyone's creative process is different.
No, you're right. And I know that you're a thinker, you're an observer, you make move, real G's moving sounds like Bolioli. Let's kind of zoom out from Jon Moy and go into like more the larger macro trends that I know you're observing from your perched atop downtown Detroit. Speaking of which, you're from Detroit, aka Motor City. I want to talk about this recent trend that's kind of taken over that is both like very recent and extremely dumb. It's this phenomenon of streetwear brands collabing with cars. So like today, Kith BMW, we've seen Supreme Lamborghini, Aimé Leon Dore and Porsche. What do you think of that as coming from the fucking car capital of the world?
I mean, I think like on one level, I think it makes like a lot of sense, right? Like I think like those things have always like they're always sort of gone hand to hand, right? Like it's design, it's aesthetics, it's also like weird lifestyle shit, right? Like so there's like a big part of that. But yeah, I mean, I think it's all about how it's executed. I think more than like I'm never gonna hate on something like the idea of like I thought that Porsche was cool. You know, I thought though I didn't realize it was like an official collab with Porsche. I just thought he like loved Porsches and made like a dope one, and it was just like
there's a whole line of apparel like merch that came out to support it, which was the big moneymaker. Yeah. So
Ryan Gosling, Drive gloves.
Yeah, I think the only of all the things that James mentioned, those collabs, I think the only one where there's not like a vehicle was Lamborghini Supreme.
Right.
It's just with Supreme. And obviously, there's apparel for all these.
Well, do we know what is Kith do? Virgil and Mercedes, like is Kith doing a fucking BMW?
I think so. I think that's what was being teased today. From what I understand, you got to have the fucking vehicle now. Now that Teddy did like set the bar with ALD, I think that's part of it. Though I don't know if
Supreme Lambo came after, so not necessarily.
Yeah, but Supreme's like kind of different, right? Like,
but yeah, I don't want to. I'm not asking Lawrence. I'm not asking Lawrence as an ALD consultant or like a fucking trend analyst. I'm asking you as like a Detroit car guy.
I mean, I fucking love cars, and I'm like super into it. But yeah, I mean, I think like it's kind of weird if you don't own a car in question. Like, I'm not gonna like buy a Lamborghini thing and like not have a Lamborghini or like a Porsche, you know what I mean? Like there's always like been like that kind of joke, right? Is like dudes who have like the fucking race jackets or like the racing team gear, and then they like me drive a just a destroyed Chevy Blazer. You know what I mean?
That's cap to you.
Yeah, but I mean, I think like
that's why, why you need a streetwear brand to collab with like fucking,
We need a Jon Moy edition Chevy Blazer, dude.
Yeah.
That comes with a pre-distressed windshield. Okay.
They just re-released it. I'll crack the window.
Yeah.
On it
Exactly.
These are cracked by hand.
Yeah, exactly. Hand cracked. It's a hand distressed windshield, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. That'll be like the big video. It'll just be me like.
I mean, I think one take on all of that is that collabs are just getting out of control and are just like a marketing vehicle. But there are some, I know that the three members of the core four here have some favorites from the year. Like, do you have a favorite collaboration of the year that to you just kind of made sense, whether it's like for whatever reason, whether it's the product itself or the story behind it? What do you have a favorite collab of the year so far? We're getting towards the end of 2020 here.
We are.
I mean, I really liked what Union did with the Jordans things, with like the cartoon and everything like that. Like that, I think that was like the execution of that was amazing.
Were you a fan of them when images first started leaking?
Yeah, I mean, I really like the guava ones. Like those were, I like instantly really, really, really like those.
Do you have a pair?
For sure. No, I tried.
Yeah, but we never got ours.
So did we.
Yeah, Richard.
Yeah, you tried that way though. You tried just by getting him on like the pod and then on the happy hour. Like I see it. I'm just trying to grease the wheels.
Of course.
Yeah.
John, a closed mouth does not get fed, my G. You know what I'm saying?
The squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Yeah.
But also the what is it? This nail sticking out gets the hammer. So,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's very Japanese.
And when you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail.
But yeah, that was really cool. I mean, I'm trying to think. There was so many. I think the Stussy our legacy, right?
That's got to be yours, really James, right?
That made.
I think so. Did you get the boxers from them?
No.
Oh,
I kind of went on like a bit of a like buying hiatus for a little bit.
Hiatus.
I was buying too many Charity Johns.
Yeah, bro.
Sure. I mean, like Charity John budget.
You were being too good of a guy, is what you're saying, and and
then there was like, buy homies gear from like small businesses because this shit is
that's
crazy.
What it was. But then it was like but then all the BLM tees came like 6 weeks later, and you're like, all right, good. Now I have to this forced me to continue to protest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a lot of shirts.
Yeah.
I
got to go rock this at a protest.
Well, we appreciate you taking a sabbatical from your copying sabbatical to buy our merch. That means
got to.
Why
did you commit to doing the sabbatical? Was it just financials?
No, I think I like go in waves where I'll look at stuff online, but that would be cool, but I don't really need it or I don't really want it. And then I just want stuff. And then that's kind of how I've always done it. Like before when I was going to New York a lot, I would just do all my shopping in New York. like in person, try shit out, buy it, and then bounce and like chill for a couple months, go back. So like, yeah, I think now it's starting to pick up a little bit more. Also, like, because my girlfriend moved in, like I had to make room. You know what I mean? Like I had a lot of shit in the closet that needed.
What was the John you had to part ways with that was like the hardest to let go of?
I mean, I cheated. We just got a storage unit, so I just shoved that shit in the storage unit. So thankfully, it wasn't that hard actually, because I was like, "Well, I don't fucking need this right now."
And let's be realistic too. Like now, half the rent is being covered.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Adrian.
What up, Adrian?
No, but that's like if you didn't have the storage unit, how cruel would that be? Where like now half the rent is getting covered, and you have all this money for John's, but no space. That would be terrible. It's like a Twilight Zone.
That's 22.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. That's the guy.
Definitely.
It's like nuclear fallout, and he finally has time to read, and he breaks his glasses immediately. That poor fucking bastard.
That's a catch 69.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I had to like build like a closet thing for inside the closet just to like make it a little bit more efficient.
What, did you cop from Floyd Detroit?
No. I just
Shinola of 2020.
Those beds are expensive, man.
Yeah. It's like
for a slat.
Yeah, for a fucking IG brand.
Wait,
yeah.
For a slat?
It's like a slat bed. It's just like a little platform bed.
Wait, Moy, this was a question asked of us in our part 1 of our AMA, which I don't think will be out by the time this episode comes out. No. So it's a little preview for the AMA. Somebody asked us, well, he asked us because his mom called him this. He said, "Do you guys think that you are materialistic?" Do you think you're materialistic?
Yeah. I mean, but like,
and is that a bad thing necessarily?
No, I mean,
to just be self-aware, or should we try to accomplish something because we've made this distinction?
I mean, I think it's like, what's coming with that judgment, right? Is it like, oh, you shouldn't want things? Like that's bullshit. Everyone wants something that's material. You know what I mean? Whether it's a car or a nice apartment or books or clothes, whatever. So like that part, nah, fuck that. I love shit. You know, I love buying stuff.
That's not a good title. I love shit.
I love shit. Liking nice things. You know what I mean? Like, nah, if it's like, yo, it's bad for the environment and all of these like systems that it supports, like that's a little trickier, but I don't think I wouldn't be that, like there are worse things to be than materialistic. You know,
that's a fucking fact. And I will say,
you could be a full-time podcaster.
John has always struck me, and this is my perception, and I've always thought you were like a discerning shopper. We know a lot of our friends are definitely addicted to fucking retail therapy. I think we could,
but Moy always Moy always falls in love with the story behind the John.
Sure,
right.
But I think a lot of people like do too, and also use that as like a fake way to justify being like.
No, but I think with Moy it's real.
Rush. No, for sure. Yeah. But do you see because you talked about like coming to New York and like trying things on and like making purchases then. That to me is even like discerning where you're like, I'm gonna do it's like it's almost like making it special, right? You know?
Yeah, for sure. And also I think like, you know, I'm older than everyone here and probably a lot of people maybe that listen. And so I think my personal style is like a bit more baked in too. So it's like I can like think something is dope, but it's either A, gonna look goofy on me, or B, it's just like not really me. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna like shoehorn myself into something just because it's dope, you know? But yeah, I think like I just like trying shit out before I buy it. I fucking hate like online returning and shit like that. And it just sucks.
Yeah. So, instead of doing a return through the mail today, I brought these pants that the dude on IG was like, yeah, I'll give you the right sizing because there was Tori Van Thompson, shout out to God. And I brought him to election day training, poll worker training, and then biked them like 3 miles out of the way to his crib in Bed-Stuy. And then
Are those like the Evisu Dickies?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are dope.
Wait, James, you weren't going to keep the pair to try to like as motivation to lose a little bit of weight because we talked about
no, because it would have like I don't need to lose weight like
yank a rib out.
But also, if I lost weight to fit, size up, they're Dickies. Like I forgot about Dickie sizing. That's the thing. Because I copped live on pod, so I was like fucking blind with John's lust.
That is fun when you're like on your phone copying while you're supposed to be doing something else. I do love a cop like that. I'm not
a blind cop.
Yeah. It's just exhilarating.
Wait, Moy, what was the last like hype item that you lusted after that you just like blacked out and ended up purchasing? Yeah, but like whether it's a pair of sneakers or something that you were convinced by the fucking zeitgeist that me and Lawrence are defining that you just had to have it.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's too much that's happened with. I think
New Balance, like
besides our
has
merch,
the-
besides our T-shirt.
you didn't get sucked into you haven't been sucked into the New Balance kind of vortex
Whirlpool, yeah.
No.
No, like I mean, I'm a big fan of general release sneakers. Like I think like I'm not gonna lie.
GR God, John.
Yeah, general release. Like if you can't pull off a general release sneaker, like you got good style, or you just got money, you know, or you just
If you
get
can't
lucky.
pull off a GR sneaker, the problem is not the sneaker, my G. The problem
Yeah, I
is
mean,
you.
a lot of the times, like you know,
That's,
I probably
that's
the
a bar,
last time-
dude. Big facts from Moy. That's true.
The last time where I was like, "Fuck, I need to buy something," I was at All-Star Weekend, and like,
Oh, with me when it was like
yeah,
negative
you bought the
50
Jordans,
degrees in
right?
Chicago.
I bought Jordans like straight up. Like I was just like, because I was so I don't know packing. I didn't like pack right. I like brought fucking Reeboks to like All-Star Weekend, and it's like all Nike events. You know, I was like, fuck. I had one pair of like wheat Air Force Ones, like lows, and like that's it. And I just remember being like the whole, like the minute I like landed there or whatever, I was like, fuck, I gotta go buy Jordans like right now.
You didn't want the
So
Def
when-
Jam Pumas? Did I give you a pair? I forget.
No, you didn't give me a pair.
Oh shit!
No, if anybody's going to graciously accept Def Jam times Puma, it's going to be Jon Moy, the
I
nicest
don't
guy in
turn
the
down
world.
free shit. Here, there's another gem. Never turn down free shit.
Damn.
There's no, but
Ever.
you also know there's no such thing as a free lunch. If you took the Pumas, James might expect a little fucking fit pick, and then
No, that's
Nah.
not with these.
That's
no.
that's you got to keep
The
it.
Public
followed
Enemy's
out,
ones
like
were
a
not
little
bad.
low.
they were
shits were not
Public Enemy. Where's
Yeah, the
mine
Public
there?
Enemy ones were pretty cool.
They're-
I'm going to mind those.
the Public Enemy ones. Gonna put them on his story. Davies, who's a Def Jam artist, but the Gunna thing was pretty fire. Yeah, the Public Enemy ones, but then there are Def Jam Clyde lows, and those are just like regular, basic,
Yeah.
like white with like.
If you're going to wear
Burgundy.
Pumas, wear Clydes, which actually brings me to a question for you, John. You mentioned Reeboks. You've been a Bach boy for a minute. Do you?
Yeah, for-
Bok Choy Moy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I kind of probably know the answer because you're a good dude, but does it bother you that thing is like kind of like very popular and like, you know, very like, oh, like beatniks are so cool now, but like you were rocking Reeboks before anybody even gave a shit. Even
No,
probably,
'cause I know
James
that.
and I- right.
you know what I mean. So I can be like, I know people, the right people who know that I was like down with that. I remember like Trunzo and I would talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
Like,
Tronzo also loved you
Yeah.
guys fucking classics, dude. Just Reebok
Yeah.
classics all day.
Yeah, workout lows. I love them.
Let's talk
But no,
about it.
it's cool.
Let's talk about something. Going from something you've always been doing, rock and Reebok, to something you're doing right now. Everyone knows this. You're an incredibly sought after free agent with the pen. Why is it that you chose to take your talents to 316? And that's not to disparage them. It's just like, why is 316 your main outlet for writing right now?
I mean, one, they're like definitely homies from like way back. You know what I mean? Like, I think I feel like I met a lot of people at 316, like in menswear. And like, I think Andrew has always been like a big part of my trajectory in menswear and fashion. So I think it just made a lot of sense. Like, I'm super comfortable with them. I think for me, like writing in particularly, like they were like, just write how you want to write. And they kind of gave me like carte blanche. And like a lot of places like think they want that. And then they get the copy and they're like, oh,
Yo,
Be careful what you wish for, ladies and
Yeah,
gentlemen.
you know,
Take it from me.
yeah, exactly.
what's
Yeah,
another way to
Lord
say clapping cheeks?
knows. Yeah.
Sir, this is you're copywriting for a Wendy's.
Yeah, like, I think I got 2 sponsored like content things at Complex before. I think that they were like, you know what? This isn't a great fit.
We're good. We're good.
Like,
It's not really your
Levi's
beat.
Orange Tab was not happy with your boy.
No.
I remember that's the only one I really remember where like I think Lawrence forwarded me the email from like the person who was like, we can't even use this. Like,
Yeah,
he's
it's
talking
like
about-
completely like this doesn't work. Whatever you
I
were
was just,
thinking
like,
doesn't
talking-
work for us.
because it was like they were like write it like it's in the 70s. So I was like talking about like full bush and unprotected
Yeah.
sex and like unfiltered cigarettes, and they're like,
Right.
what does this have to do with jeans?
Yeah, it was really fucking good, and they were not even
They were
having it
so
remotely.
bummed.
Can we
Yeah.
can we
That's
post it?
$500 Levi's ever spent.
Can we post it? Can we post it on our Patreon?
I would have to dig it. I don't even know where
I
it
don't.
ran. Something ran, right?
Yeah, it ran, but I mean, they scrubbed that. Like 4-pin doesn't really exist, man. We
Scrub
gotta
that like a
scrub
full-ass
it. You
bush.
gotta go on Wayback Machine.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
true.
Scrub it like a big old bush.
Like a full
Yeah.
bush.
So
No,
yeah,
so Yo, here's a question. Like, this is a question only you and I will understand. Fuck this white guy here, and Chuck's not even paying attention. Was Andrew as an OG? So first of all, his episode, I think, surprised us with the numbers that it did. We know that he's a beloved figure, but he seems kind of like an if you know, you know guy. And meanwhile, he fucking went to the moon, and we're just like, oh my God, this guy's universally beloved. But as an Asian dude, did that mean anything for you? Where like obviously there's hella like Japanese guys that are, you know, legends in the game, but as a Asian American, did that draw you to him at all and his journey and his path?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, we also went to the same college.
Really?
So like that? Yeah. We both.
I didn't know that.
You guys, like,
I know
frat
Andrew
brothers?
in Chicago. That's crazy.
No, like he might have been like a senior when I was a freshman, maybe.
You didn't cross paths.
No, we didn't cross paths. I mean, no. Like I think Andrew was like a very good student and like
Right.
like that, and I'm, you know,
Upstanding member of society.
Yeah.
You're everyone's favorite Moy toy.
Well, yeah, and then we're both like American-born Chinese kids. So I think it was definitely like a big thing to see him and Johan and what they were doing. And then I also just always really liked the way they went about like 316. Like I really like the brand. I like work for them now, but I think that like if you look back at brands that like existed back then that still exist now, like I feel like you can't look at 316 or Andrew or Johan and be like they like hopped on a wave real hard or like just changed the entire brand. And I think a lot of companies from then are like almost unrecognizable. And I think I've always just really, and they've just always been like super nice to me and like really like encouraging. Like I'm sure Lawrence has brought this up, but like I don't know if Run of the Mill would really exist, you know, without Andrew's encouragement. So he, you know, he's like the.
Oh no, Lawrence has never mentioned Run of the Mill ever on this podcast. Or, did you know he wrote a book? I just learned that.
I've done a lot of impressive things. I agree with you.
Done a lot of
Somewhere
evil
around here in this thing. Oh, right here. Fuck.
Hell yeah.
Bottom shelf.
Is it
Bottom
signed?
shelf, Larry.
Is it signed?
No. I never got it signed.
Oh, that's whack, dude. I'll sign it for you.
Send it to him.
If I sign it, it loses all resale value. But I could do that for you. Honestly, John, it would be my pleasure. Just like,
Boy, what would you say to kids? Because I think you give very good advice, and I think that the people do listen to you. What would you say to kids? And I'm not saying that this is like the prevailing attitude. I think this is like a fake, like almost like urban legend that kids now don't fuck with denim. But what would you say to anyone out there that is like, yo, fuck jeans? Like it's all, you know, like they want that techie fabrics or whatever. Like, I don't know. What do you say to them?
I mean, I think like you can't wholesale get into anything. Like that's fucking crazy. Like just like when everyone like quote unquote stopped wearing tailored gear, like that was dumb to get rid of all your suits. Like you need a fucking suit, guy.
Right.
Like you need dress shoes, you need sneakers, and like jeans is like name another like item that like looks good with like almost every other genre of clothes. It's fucking jeans.
White,
you know, and
it's fucking. What are we talking? We're talking about it's fucking jeans.
It's fucking jeans, man. You know,
a tall tee,
Yeah,
with a snowman on the front.
Yeah, you can't ban the snowman for XXX.
I'm saying.
Damn it! Why didn't I cop that?
Yeah, that would be good.
I can't believe you didn't.
Damn.
I got something else.
Can't ban them. Can't ban them.
Yeah.
Can't ban them.
But yeah, I mean, I think like you just like don't like it's cool to be in trends and like of the moment. I think that's like it's fun. It's part of like the culture. But look, like you can't like it's like when people like didn't wear shorts for so long. Like you can't do that. It's fucking.
Was anyone real? I mean, was anyone really? I mean, I might have said.
Yo,
that.
I got
did I ever
for
say
wearing
that?
shorts in New York.
There was a thing where it was like, don't wear shorts to the office.
Well, no, I think
for a few years it was do not wear shorts to the office.
And
like
even like don't wear shorts in New York. With damn, dude,
that was the thing, man. I know
some bad takes. There was bad takes.
There was some trash takes about shorts. Like I remember I got fucking roasted for wearing shorts, but it was like Fashion Week, you know, like in September.
Is that because we live in? Is that because we live in like a hot take culture where it's like people only listen to you if your fucking take is spicy, and that's how we ended up with Trump? Or is it like
I thought you were going to say that's how we ended up with this podcast.
this podcast is nothing but lukewarm takes? Chuck, don't worry, we'll bleep the hate speech that came out. We'll cut the hate speech that came out from before that interjection. Or is it like that because of and you kind of talked about this on your Moy's rant at one, that like we are told to kind of swing full pendulum back and throw everything out and fully buy into like this thing to keep the fucking marketplace going.
The wheels churning.
Yeah, I mean, I think like I also genuinely think there was some toxic masculinity to not wearing shorts, because it's not just New York.
Fellas,
like, I know,
is having legs
here,
gay?
Yeah,
I know,
being
exactly.
comfortable, fellas. Is being comfortable gay?
I mean, there's dudes here, like in Michigan. I had friends who like just never wore shorts, and they're like, "You wearing shorts?" You know, and it's like,
this motherfucker wearing shorts over here.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and it's just like, it's fucking hot out. You
gotta
know,
be like Eminem. You'd be like, "Yo, I do wear shorts."
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. You gotta just. But
I am a fucking bum.
But yeah, you know, and I think that's also why short lengths are so fucking short now, because it's just like dudes are like, I get it. You never wear shorts. Maybe this is like your first or second summer wearing shorts ever. So you just go on fucking 4 or 5 inseams. And it's like the first time you ever had pizza. You want it every fucking day. You know?
Hey, Timmy, what did you do over the summer? Wore shorts for the first time as a grown man because a podcast told me I could.
I wouldn't be that surprised.
Right.
You know?
Maybe.
I will say 5-inch inseams is a little short, guys.
Really?
Yeah. Pusha T was right.
Well, he's got a brick of money weighing him down.
Yeah, right. And what do your quads look like?
I sag my shorts a little bit.
Yeah,
so
you love.
I sag the 5-inch.
So then you're not really wearing a 5-inch inseam.
It's still the inseam of the short is still 5 inches.
Yeah. But you're not showing that much thigh. You know
I like showing a lot.
I go on record. Everyone getting 5-inch inseams probably sagging it a lot.
I think the sag is a good look, and I think that doing like socks and sneakers with a hiked up 5-inch makes you look like a little boy. I'm with you on that, but I think that the 5-inch, and again, it's not necessarily about the shortness. It's also that the baggies have the width and the silhouette.
Yeah, it's all about baggy shorts, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Which is a great
shorts got to be a little baggy. Yeah, for sure.
Have the flare.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
A little flare, little je ne sais
like an A-line skirt, you know?
Ooh, yes,
it's the same
exactly.
concept. So are we going to be like...
That's what Coco Chanel wanted when she made the A-line dress.
I mean, John, you wore the EG shawl as a skirt.
Hell yeah.
Kind of. Kilt.
And the
sort
long
of.
shirts.
Yeah, the long shirts.
Would you ever...
So you don't know about the silhouette game.
Do you think skirts are about to have a moment again?
I think it'd be cool if they did.
Rocky's doing it. Have you seen Rocky in his kilts? That's like that's like the next frontier. He had his birthday, which was like just recently. I saw the cake on IG. It had a kilt on the cake, so clearly he's going to do that. That's happening.
Yeah, like a big voluminous A-line pleated with some pockets. I'd fuck with that heavy. Yeah.
That.
Chris Black was great in his the Tom Brown one.
I don't know who that is, but James, we should maybe our next piece of merch should be
a pleated skirt.
Dude, an embroidered tennis skirt, like an embroidered tennis skirt. I'm telling you.
I got
Gordon hoodie season. Homie Fry said it best.
Hell yeah. Well, Moy, so we're talking about you freelancing, and you've been a master of that work for yourself life for a minute. And Lawrence and I, we're kind of struggling, right? Like we're trying to fill our days because we pod in the evenings. Like it's about filling our days. It's about not feeling like we're directionless. Not getting too fucked up before 5 p.m. Like, what's your key to success for this work for yourself life?
Well, I mean, it's hard work. I think when I first started. I think even when I was first at Floor Pins, I wasn't full-time freelance at all. I was still at an office job. And I was I could not wait to just be in my house. You know what I mean? Writing all day. But yeah, it's fucking hard. I think it's staying disciplined, honestly. And I think that's the hardest part that and super organized. But I think a big part of what you do if you're writing or you're creating anything is a lot of it is it doesn't look like traditional work. It looks like you're just sitting, right? And just thinking. But that's really what 90% of this shit is.
Sitting on the dock of the bay.
It's all
time, man.
It's all grist for the mill. It's all grist for the mill.
Sometimes you sit and think, sometimes you just sit. But like,
Oh yeah, shout out Winnie the Pooh, aka Chuck's style icon.
AKA Chuck Franco, Winnie the Pooh. Dude.
But yeah, I think it's super hard. I don't really have like great advice. You know, I think like it's more of like learn from my mistakes, so you just like don't repeat them. It's like, yeah, stay super disciplined. Like because you can fall in the trap of like, I got writer's block today, I'll fucking finish it tomorrow, right? And then you start kind of like operating like a college kid again, where you're just like doing shit right before the deadline, just pull an all-nighter, and then you sleep all day, and you just kind of do that. Like I'll joke all the time, like with Adrian, like you know, because I'll do like breakfast or whatever, and then I'm like, ooh, made some bacon, I gotta go take a nap. You know what I mean? Like,
what's the earliest nap you've ever taken?
Earliest?
Yeah.
Like she'll call them like my writing naps. So if I have like a deadline, it's like, let's say it's due like end of day that day, I'll probably take a nap around like 11:30.
Hell yeah.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's like being in college, right? You have something due and you find a million excuses, whether it's like making a ridiculous meal for all, being so generous in the kitchen for no reason.
Like mac and cheese for all.
Jon Moy has literally never made me breakfast, right? But yet suddenly here he is with a fucking full continental spread.
Ooh, ramen
it's the goddamn Yotel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The thing I struggle with, and I don't know if you remember this because you've been doing it for so long, is that when you go from an office job, which 80% of your day is just bullshit, right? And then you go to working for yourself, all that bullshit is gone, and all of a sudden you're stuck with all this free time. And I, for a minute there, had anxiety that I like wasn't doing enough. And I realized that like all the stuff that you're not doing is like all those fucking email threads where you're just like, hey, how's 2:00 for you? 2:30? Oh, I have a hard out.
Busy work, right? It's just busy work.
Yeah, it's like when email threads go, or when you're fucking bullshitting with someone in the hallway, and it's like learning that anxiety is over. Like, there's no reason for that, right? Like, you have what you need to do, and you do it, and that's it. And I have a friend that just left his busy office job to do some like work for himself shit, and he's experiencing that. He's like, yo, I feel like I'm fucking doing nothing. I have anxiety that I'm like, going to break this. And it's like, no, you learn that that's kind of just like absolutely just, a mind fuck from like working an office job that is, again, 80% bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think like I never had that problem. Like I never really, I don't like work.
You're like this retirement suits me.
Yeah.
I'm
like
good.
work, like
another nap,
work
sir.
for a reason.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I've always said that, like my life philosophy has always been like, be late for work, early.
Yo, jobs are bullshit. Anyone that's listening, steal office supplies and then sell them and quit.
Yeah, like your boss.
And make sure you're not caught on microphone talking about stealing shit from your office, because then you could lose your intellectual property.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's definitely consequences for like not giving a shit.
No, not except for my actions.
Yeah, for everything but what I do.
Boy, real quick, I don't want to get into the nitty gritty of. I know you're a lawyer. Do you have the rights to Jon Moy's rants IP?
No, I don't know. We haven't really gotten to that point,
right? Okay. It's amongst friends.
I think there needs to be a little bit more intellectual property to exist.
There's nothing
we argue over.
There's nothing to claim. John, I have two questions for you. One is like, I would love to know what your typical day-to-day is. Real overview. And then the second thing is, you talked about being disciplined, but at the same time, potentially falling into the trap of like being the college kid, doing things at deadline. I have always found that the greatest cure to writer's block is just letting that deadline slowly approach and just getting it done at the last minute. Any big thing that like I ever filed was done up until the 25th hour. And I was pretty happy with all the work I turned in. So, well,
it forces you to get started.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's start with what does a Thursday look like for Jon Moy? Because
Thursday.
I think like
what do you do today?
Because I think you put in work on Monday, Tuesday. A lot of times, like stuff is kind of like due on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Thursday, where it's not quite the weekend, but end of the week. What's a Thursday like for Jon Moy?
Now
make breakfast, take a nap,
make breakfast. Scroll the timeline for a little bit. Have a leisurely coffee. I love a good coffee.
You like to luxuriate with coffee over the TL.
How do you make your coffee? Drip?
No. I got like a pour over or a French press, or I got one of those AeroPresses. It just depends on like how lazy I feel that morning.
Right.
Probably be a French press. And then I'll like scroll the timeline, maybe read a little bit. I do a lot of reading, and then I'll just like look out the window for like half hour. I love a good. Adrian says I like to like just look at dirt or like look at plants. I don't know. I've never had like an issue like when growing up. I was like my dad would never let us say we were bored. Like if me and my sister were like, I'm bored, he'd like give us shit to do. So like I think I just like learned to like.
That's that Asian. That's that COI shit. Child of immigrants.
Yeah, for sure. And so
you gaze. You're a gaze. You just gaze for a half hour.
Like
you're a gaze man.
Maybe some people might call it like daydreaming, but it's not like I'm just like coming up with like wild fantasies. It's just like you just like think about the day, watch a little bit of TV.
What are you reading right now?
Yeah.
I've been like
this is the first time books have ever been mentioned on the pod, except I guess with like Mary H.K. Joy
or an author. Yeah, this is
about their book.
This is the only time reading has ever been mentioned as a hobby.
I do really like Mary H.K. Choi's books. They're really good. I just got this book about Kowloon Walled City, which was like
the shit in the slum in Hong Kong. That's like the most densely populated place on earth.
Yeah, it was. They tore it down, but so it's like a photo book.
Now it's a Dwayne Reed. I miss the old Calhoun.
Yeah, I really like the 3 Body Problem, and then I also got like this zine. The Instagram is like 550 BC, and it's like all about Dutch ATM raiders and how they like steal money from ATMs, and it's like their gear and CCTV footage and like the techniques and shit.
That's sick.
I'm like super into that.
I would love to hear Jon Moy's rant about that, dude. That sounds like
it's fascinating.
Yo, just about scammers
and shit.
Yeah.
Yo, Jon Moy on scammers. Have Kodak Black on.
Yo, I think we need to get a Drake produced Netflix original series about these Dutch ATM scammers. Drizzy, Big Scorpion. I know you listen, buddy.
Yeah.
Got the balaclavas, Nike.
That's how you learned about 000.
AKs.
Yeah, do they wear what else do they wear? That's cool. They wear like fit? Trainers. Yeah, what's the ATM Raider fit?
It's like boiler suits, balaclava, Nike dry fit gloves, and then like bulletproof vests, like Kevlar vests. And then it's wild. Like they use like oxyacetylene torches, right? They just like mix the two gases together and then like blow out the ATM. They like go from like the Netherlands into like
sounds like the opening scene of Dark Knight.
I know this fucking rocks.
Sick. It's sick. And then like steal Audis, so they got like the scanner, steal the key fob.
Yeah, because they can't steal Benzes because of Virgil. They can't steal Beamers because of Kit. They can't steal Porsche because of ALD. What's left? Audi.
Yeah,
Audi.
Sure.
The wagons, so you can like throw all the money, the cassettes in there.
Damn. I love a heist movie that features a station wagon, like a European performance station wagon. Yeah. Oh, come on, chefs.
I still think that station wagons are the ideal body type for a car.
I had a Volkswagen Passat station wagon as my ride for a long time.
That's some fucking formal. That's some form and function.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
very cool.
For sure. Like a Volvo one. My roommate in college had a Volvo station wagon. That shit was
like
fire.
That S60? I don't know.
All
right, so you're zining about petty criminals. In your,
that's not petty, man. That's
a felony.
It's big,
dude.
That's on
big euros. Think about it. You hit like 6 ATMs with euros. That's like you can get like €1 million, no problem.
Really?
You know what I mean? Yeah.
So these guys, these are like $1 million heists in the night.
These are like
there needs to be a movie or a TV show.
Write the screenplay.
It's like $10,000 probably at a time, maybe up to $50,000 depending on the ATM. Right? You go into like a bank ATM.
It sounds like your bank.
It
sounds like that guy. It sounds like that guy in America where he saw that Wendy's was doing free chicken nuggets for an hour, and he hit 5 Wendy's in like a 70-mile radius and ate free for a week.
Yeah,
there you go. Same thing.
Hustle blood, dude. You love to see that.
Hell yeah. All right,
so you're zining about major scammers.
Are we at lunchtime or are we past lunch?
Yeah,
what time are we eating lunch?
I feel like we're at. That's like mid-afternoon. We kind of eat like a late lunch, so I'll make lunch.
What are you making?
Like salad, maybe like a chicken salad, chicken Caesar.
Nice.
Or we'll like order something sometimes.
Live a
little. Get the
within moderation, of course.
Supporting local restaurant industry. Very patriotic of you.
Tipping robustly.
Shangri-La, the local Chinese spot. We'll get something from there. Yeah, so I'll make lunch. Then I'll probably like have to do the dishes that I put off from breakfast.
What's your Chinese food order? I feel like this is actually more interesting when Lawrence tries to get us to talk about our fucking McDonald's orders. What's your Chinese food order? I
like pepper steak. I really like, I'll do like the roast pork fried rice. I like gailan, like Chinese broccoli and oyster sauce. Yeah, I always get it. Yeah, I like a good almond chicken. I'm not gonna front.
Dumplings.
Sometimes
I'm a dumplings must every time, regardless.
Dumplings are like more like brunch for me. Like it just reminds me of dim sum.
Like dim
sum.
So,
Sure.
Yeah. So like I'll get those like a little earlier or whatever. But yeah, I like a good dumpling. What do you get in there? Like the pork filling? Or, like,
I mean, whatever. Yeah.
Seafood.
Prefer pork, honestly. Pork
Man,
fried.
I like doing
My
veggie
favorite.
dumplings because it feels like you're doing a healthy veggie.
Fuck it.
Just,
Whatever,
like,
again, whatever you need to tell
deep
yourself.
fry it.
Here's some frozen vegetables boiled and then just wrapped in dough.
This
and slathered in
podcast
sauce.
literally should be called The Lies We Tell Ourselves, because every time a guest comes on, we all get going, and it's just like people must listen at home like, what is wrong? Or they're the same kind of people, I guess.
Yeah, I think they relate, right? It's cathartic.
Yeah.
It's like it's like polling, right? When it's like, so who's your candidate? It's like Joe Biden, and then they go out and fucking vote for Trump.
Is it just me, or are things getting crazier out there?
All right, Moy. So you're doing a late lunch. You're making a salad or ordering Chinese. What's next?
I like to go for a walk. We try to get a good walk in.
Are you gazing while walking, or is it more of like a meditation?
It's probably a conversation. You know what I mean? But yeah, there's a lot of like listen to music. Maybe lately we've been going for drives, like just driving around like different neighborhoods, like looking at houses and stuff, listening to music. That's like really fun. Yeah, and then I'll probably like watch something. Like I watched like all of Top Boy, I guess like the last couple of weeks.
Nice.
We'll get into film and TV in 3 hours and hours.
Are you sparking up to watch that program, or you haven't like
every once in a while?
Are you kicking back with a sippy?
I'm definitely probably more of a smoker than a sipper for sure. Like I never really ever drank that much. Like
right, just beers
like
here and there. That's kind of just seeing you just like nurse a beer.
The Texas wedding tells a different story.
Yeah,
but that's the thing is like I kind of like I would just save up my like wiling out time for New York, right? Because it was
shopping and wiling out. You're like Hurricane Moy's coming to town. Batting up the hatches. It's about to get fucking messy up in here.
Yeah, and then the cool thing about like this,
who's got Moy insurance?
People don't see you a lot, so like everyone's hyped to hang out. You know what I mean? So like everyone just like kicks it into a slightly better gear. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But,
well, in this robust daily schedule you have, it sounds like you're getting a lot of work done. Who are you freelancing for right now?
One NBA.
Come on,
James. It's an NBA. I'm not gonna break that.
Yeah, not for us. I would hope not.
You're working for the National Defense Association? You're working for Supreme?
Yeah, 316. A lot of it's like in the works. It takes forever to get people because it's like a lot of people don't really want to pay freelancers a lot. So it's like a lot of like,
well, especially now, right?
Yeah, and especially for writers, bro.
Yeah, no one wants to pay a writer. You know what I mean? So like a lot of times, I this sounds like it's like a shitty thing to say, but I was like turned down a lot of stuff. Just
who have you that? I mean, that's crazy, and you're in a blessed position to do that. Like, who have you turned down?
I mean, it doesn't. We don't.
You've already burned the bridge. Like, just name them.
No. But I will say this: like, $250 for like $500 to $1,000 words is like that. No, I'm gonna turn that down.
Right. You don't need
good. I'm good, sweetie.
I mean, I probably need it. That's like
that's a different.
I'm not good, sweetie. Sweetie, I'm not good.
That's a completely different question, but you have too much pride.
And it's also just like it's just.
I will be your downfall.
It's like a lot of work.
Yeah.
For not a lot of.
Well, let me ask you this. So, you infamously fucking tore Shinola asunder with your takedown of them. Detroit's a small town. Have you ever run into someone who works at Shinola and they try to like say some shit or start some shit?
I mean, not here, but the funny thing is like one of the fashion weeks, like right after that, they like sponsored like at Milk Studios or whatever, or no, the other one, the one by like the pier
Root?
or whatever.
Root? No, Spring Studios.
Yeah. No, like the big one. It was like
just
by,
like
the
Pier 59, just like whatever.
Pier 57.
Yeah.
Pier 57.
Whatever that one was. They had like a whole like
Piers Morgan.
Yeah. And
this pier was made in Detroit.
She was like super high up, like C-suite level. And she like we were like walking. I forget who I was sitting with, maybe Wolf or something. And she was like, what are you doing here? Like, like, why are you here? And I was like, what?
Security? Security?
Yeah. Yes, that was like super awkward.
Jesus fucking Christ, it's Jon Moy.
She was a CMO. Yes. So like,
oh, damn.
Yeah. And so she knew who I was, but I like didn't really know who she was, but like, so that
I
was
don't think about you at all.
Yeah, it was like, she was like, oh, it was like wild, like, oh, good for you. You're like at Fashion Week. I was like, what?
Literally at Shinola HQ, they're like zooming in on CCTV at Pier 57.
Yeah.
And Jesus Christ.
But yeah, I mean, I think
Jon Moy. They have a dartboard with Moy's face on it.
Yeah, he's throwing it.
I mean, like, from what I've heard, it wasn't like, they weren't thrilled about it. Like,
oh, really? Because you basically butt fucked them till Sunday on that.
To Bolivia.
I think what didn't help was that, like, I think they would have taken the website, like the 4Pins thing, and been like, whatever, that's going to disappear. And like, but then like all these TV news programs.
Local news.
Yeah.
No, not
local hero like, Jon Moy.
Yeah, tonight at 8.
Had been local
boy makes good by like, absolutely shitting on.
Yeah. Like PBS,
multinational
PBS
corporation gentrifying Detroit.
Yeah. So it was like, and it all happened like probably within like a month. Like every weekend, it was just on like CBS. It was on NBC. It was on PBS.
Or superhero tonight.
I got to like pretend I was typing on my computer for like the B-roll for like the interviews and shit. It was so funny.
It's funny that you bring up Shinola because actually this next segment has a tie with Shinola. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Chuck's Redemption Corner, brought to you by Shinola. As everyone knows, Chuck and Moy had a showdown back a few years ago on a podcast that shall not be named. Larry's out of town. I decided to sit back and just let Chuck cook. The ratings were mixed ratings, mixed reviews. But this is Chuck's time to fucking shine. We told him this to be at the top of the episode. We're like an hour and a half in. Again, welcome to Chuck's Redemption Corner, brought to you by Shinola TM. Take it away, Chuck.
Good. Thank you to the good folks at Shinola for sponsoring this pee break. Chuck, go off.
I don't think it was. I don't know. I feel like the people who thought it was bad, they definitely did not tell me.
Me.
I only got good feedback. But like, I will say, like, I feel like I definitely took it way too seriously and was like way too scared. And like afterwards, I had a really bad feeling. Like I had a very, very, very
really.
Like it ruined my day. Like me and my girl, and I just felt terrible about it, to be honest. And then
really? Why?
Because I don't know. I just felt like I blew it. I was like, man, Moy's so cool. He saw me all sweaty and shit.
And it was during the summer.
Yeah, it was
July.
I
think it was that studio. I felt like I was going to get like a swirly every time just walking around that office.
It was also like, it was at Barstool. It was on like a Saturday or Sunday.
Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday. Like Saturday morning.
Which are for the boys, as you know.
Yeah.
We're contractually obligated to say whenever you enter that office, you have to say Saturdays for the boys.
Yeah, the whole time I was like, I'm going to get a wedgie in here. You know what I mean?
I'm going to get stuffed in a locker.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I was like, AC Slater's about to pop out of somewhere in here. I thought it went great. I think it was a little weird to have like James just in the corner like a voyeur. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just masturbating.
I just like to watch.
Shit. Like, yeah, just
chirping.
Do your thing. I'm here to watch.
Chirping while just chirping while slowly beating off in the corner.
Hooting like an owl.
It wasn't slow.
Faster. Harder.
Chuck ask
better questions, Chuck. Wait, John, did you listen back?
Yo, of course. Hell yeah. Of course I'm going to
like it?
Self-talk for an hour.
What did you think of your performance, and what do you think of Chuck's performance?
I mean, I think he had like a tough subject. I'm not like that verbose of a person. I think sometimes I'm not always like super fast.
You're so easy to talk to, though. That's why everyone loves you. What are you talking about?
I mean, I think like interpersonally, sure, but like to make content is like a different thing, right? It's like the difference between like being funny and being a comedian, right? Like
also, I obviously me and Moy knew who each other were, but that was our first time ever meeting.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
What do you think about?
Yeah.
I didn't remember that. Yeah.
What do you think about? What do you guys think about Chuck and Moy? What do you think about like your various like personalities combining and gelling? Like, do you think that like sweaty, nervous Chuck and like cool, laid back, chill Moy, who is like on his way to the Penties, like, did you guys gel?
I thought so. I had a great time.
Chuck's we did a happy hour afterwards, and it was like, for me, it felt like night and day. Like I was I felt like I was actually talking to someone I knew and not like fucking freaking out. And I had a great time. And I'm sure like I would love to also just talk like not recording sometime. I feel like that'd be fun. And that would be good.
Yeah.
Why don't you guys call each other?
Yeah,
I'll put you on text.
Give me a call.
Sure. All right. I'm always here. Clearly, you've seen my day to day.
Yeah.
I got some open blocks for you, Chuck.
Yeah, maybe you can use. Maybe if you could be so kind to give Chuck a couple minutes of your gaze time, and you could just toss it over to him.
I can carve it out. You know what I mean?
Wait, John, were you nervous to do that episode with Chuck? Were you like nervous to be on a podcast at all?
Yeah, for sure. Like I think before that, the only one I had been on and really have been on was Jeremy's, which is like just talking to Jeremy on the phone. Like that shit was easy. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think it was like, it's always like a little intimidating, like, you know.
What about right now? How's this going? Because obviously this is the big leagues now, buddy boy.
Yeah, I think it's going all right.
I just remembered Sham at one point just being like, Jesus Christ. Like he was like,
really?
Yeah, like audibly like Jesus Christ.
Wait, was Sham there?
Yes, he recorded it.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Okay.
Who produced it?
I don't know. I have a terrible memory.
Who produces the producers?
It went by fast. I remember it. I was like, oh shit,
It was fair. It was a fairly quick ep. I mean, relative to like, you know, FU and TF, but like, which isn't a bad thing. But it was definitely on the shorter side
of quality. That's not a sign of quality, right?
Yeah.
Hope not, at least.
Well,
but yeah, I had a good time. I don't know. I thought we meshed well.
Anything else, Chuck, in your redemption corner? Anything else you'd like to add?
No,
I feel like in your redemption corner,
what do you learn from that, Chuck, from that experience?
Yeah, what were your
like just be yourself, and like I wish I would have just like relaxed more and like it would have just been way more organic. Like just like having a conversation. That's all it is. It's really,
it probably would have helped if we had like talked beforehand, not like you were saying.
For sure. If that drink situation preceded the pod absolutely would have been better.
This is what I remember actually. And this is what this is what me and Lawrence tell the pair of cunts, the podcast that we went on earlier this week. And what I tell all the podcasts that steal our shit, it's like, yo, you're not gonna be Jimmy and Larry. Like, don't try and be Jimmy and Larry. Like, and I remember there's a moment where I was like, Chuck was trying to ask like maybe it was when he goes "Badass" or whatever. Like, you're trying to ask questions. Badass. You were trying to ask like Jimmy and Larry style questions and like give Jimmy and Larry interjections and shit. And it's like you're never gonna out Jimmy and Larry, right? So like, just be Chuck.
Yeah. I remember listening to it on the train commuting when I eventually got back from my honeymoon or whenever the shit went live. And I thought it was good.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
I thought it was like cute. It was like cute.
It was a great
I don't mean that in a demeaning way, but
one-off.
it felt, I thought so. So
I felt like it was endearing.
yes,
right?
Exactly. It was endearing for sure.
It was
We came off
amazing.
good, Chuck.
It was amazing to watch live. That's all I'll say. Yo, maybe that's our new shit
Creepy
is
voyeur.
Yeah,
Chuck
right?
Chuck and Moy live.
A literal fly on the wall. Maybe.
I like the happy hours. I
yeah,
think you're killing it with that.
that's fun.
Yeah,
Yeah, we just
maybe
record so
it's
much
time to bring those back. The last one was an absolute fucking disaster. So
That was bad.
No, I think we should end on that actually.
yeah, that's our calling card. Like, make the last thing the worst thing you ever do, and then just completely move on.
So instead of like going out on top, you guys like don't repeat champions,
dude,
like don't make the playoffs and just.
You want to go out so low, you can just slink out under the door. That's what I always tell kids.
We're like Eli Manning, right?
Yeah.
First to worst.
Yeah, first of all, go
We're not
out
Jer-
on
we're
the
not Jerry
bottom,
Seinfeld.
kids. Yeah.
We're not Jerry Seinfeld. 1738. We are Eli.
What?
You don't. When he was 38, he was dating a 17.
It's a TikTok. That's why.
Oh,
James
okay. Sorry. I thought James was that original, but he's not. Damn.
No.
Yo, shout out Fetty Wap wherever you are.
Yeah.
Yo, I love that moment when he gave his friend like the BMW
Yes.
or whatever.
Oh,
that shit was so heart touching.
Something Montana, right?
Monty.
Yeah.
Who has bars?
Yeah, who has? Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think
Maybe that's
why.
the outro music. I don't know what the outro music was before, but I think it's Fetty Wap.
Yeah,
It's got to be.
Yeah, Remy boy. Remy boys.
1738.
Yeah. All right.
Chuck,
I'll make
anything
a
else
note.
for your redemption corner?
No, I would just like to say that I like where I am right now. I like my position right now. Just seeing the three of you fucking clicking. I much prefer this seat.
Are you beating
Did you
off
feel like
James?
on the spot? Like whose idea was it for you to do it?
James, I think, right?
Oh, did you feel like on the
I
spot?
think
Like what the fuck, man?
Well, what? So at that point, right?
Was very clear.
This was pre-Zooming podcasting. So we were like, look, Moy's going to be in New York once every fucking blue moon.
Mhm.
Let's wait until he's back to give him the full Jimmy Larry gauntlet. So we can't, ain't no half stepping. False. There is half stepping. We're going to give him Chuck, and I'll pitch in from the back.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe Lawrence was so selfish because we had all just seen each other at his wedding. He had to go on his honeymoon.
I know, right?
Do the pod.
We should have potted at the wedding. We should have done that. Would have been.
Well, we kind of did.
I
recorded thanks to Trunzo. I recorded. Lawrence, this is mommy.
Yeah, and I guess that's technically recording. I also recorded some type of message voice note for Chuck and Moy that I sent from the honeymoon. But I think it was more about encouraging Chuck.
Italy or something.
Yes,
it was the intro.
Oh, right. I think you can hear like a babbling brook. It was actually beautiful.
It was a big flex.
Mamma mia. All right, Mo, let's go from Redemption Corner to big questions only. You're such a brandsman and you're such an unearther of like the rare and the unknown, but I want to zoom it out a little bit and talk all time. Maybe it's Mount Rushmore, maybe it's just all time. What are your favorite brands? All time. Not right now. We'll get into that later, but all time.
Shit.
So it's a Rushmore.
Yeah, let's do
how many are on Rushmore? Four. Or five?
We got Abe,
TJ,
Republican president, the first Republican president.
Yeah.
Teddy,
TJ, Thomas Jefferson, George Washington.
Oh, right.
Yeah, Teddy Roosevelt and Georgie Dubs.
Yeah.
Wow. Mount Italy's up there. This is like no order. Engineered garments for sure.
Did you do the Mont Italy pre-ordering? That they're moving to that model now?
I'm probably going to. Yeah.
So smart.
It's super smart. They've been doing, this shit is great.
It's a TF model. It is for the rare shit.
Well, Juicy Yuki's been doing that with Yucatan for a minute now.
Yeah.
They have stuff that you can buy off the rack. Yeah, right. But definitely for the footwear, for the rare skins and shit.
Right. The rare skins.
Sound like a gamer.
Or a white supremacist.
Okay, so you got EG Mont Italy. Great fucking picks, if I do say so myself.
Mont Italy's still a sleeper. Like,
dude, such a sleeper.
It's so bizarre to me. I don't get it.
It's so good.
Well, I think it's because Yuki doesn't give a fuck.
Yuki put his fucking bags up? Did you see him just post on Instagram? I'm like, I want one of these. It's a fucking Mont Italy Birkin. Are you whatever the fuck it is? I'm like,
also, he's like the nicest dude ever. Like, just super welcoming. That brand is always super cool.
Our merchman Rylan interned for them, and he's just like, Yuki's a fucking genius.
Rylan's from MU, Mont Italy University. He fucking knows the fucking vibes. Yeah,
that's dope. He was like out in Hermosa Beach or whatever. Like, just chilling. That's sweet.
All right, so Mont Italy, Hermosa Beach, just chill squad. I mean, they're the West Coast. They're like the West Coast and Nepenthes. You got Dikey, EG.
Yeah. It's like engineered garments. Like
it's a little more laid back, more hippie. Yeah. Even though EG has surf influence because Dikey famously is like a big fucking tubesman.
Yeah.
But I think Mont Italy does get influence from down south, like just down the coast in Mexico, or maybe with more like Chamula, but also like Chamula. But I mean, Yucatan has a bunch of like what's the fucking Mexican like woven silhouette or woven
like
leather?
Huaraches?
Yeah.
Oh, like the footwear.
Yeah. I mean, I love Yucatan too. I would just say like the Meg Company.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Meg Company that's the West Coast. Medco is the West Coast Nepenthes. Yep. And Mont Italy is like EG, and then Yucatan doesn't really have a counterpart, but it's mainly footwear, or it is all footwear, I guess.
Yeah, it's all footwear.
So we got two. We got Meg Company. We got EG.
I mean, I don't know
Mont Italy and EG.
Well, Mont Italy and Yucatan. We're gonna combine them for Medco.
But there's other Medco brands.
But Chamula's cool. And then what else do they have?
I think there's one. I think there's one other one. We'll have Rylan correct us.
So then that's fair because he did say EG and not Nepenthes. So we're gonna do Mont Italy.
Yeah, definitely EG is my favorite of the Nepenthes group, like the label or whatever. Like that's my favorite.
The house.
Yeah, the
house of Nepenthes.
Like EG,
Matty Post.
I really like. I don't know if it counts as like a brand. I really like Union a lot. I just like love.
I mean, at this point,
they
like.
I mean, yeah, they're really more of a shop, though. I would say
LA. They're more of a shop. I think that's a kind of a cop out.
Yeah.
Shit. I mean, like I'll put. Yeah, I guess like Reebok for sure. Like if I'm gonna go for like go-to shoes, you gotta have like maybe one particular footwear.
Any designers? These are your because you can do brands or designers.
Oh fuck yeah! all time makes it harder, you know?
Yeah, that's why we're the only podcast that matters.
Yeah, big questions only. But it's really like but this is your personal preference, not like, oh, I got to put Rick up there.
Junior for sure. I think Junior
so
is
that's 4.
up there. Yeah, there you go.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, you love Junior.
Wow.
You have like, at any given time, I feel like you have like a big piece of Junior outerwear in your wardrobe, as long as I've known you.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Particularly the one season, I fucking can't remember when it was doing like Fair Isle like knits combined with like the heavy like olive drab canvas. I really like that collection. But I also
sounds like a boot I know.
Undercover. That's like I don't really wear leather jackets, but I really wanted one of those samurai double riders. Those things were fucking fire.
Oh, the shit with the fucking
it's like padded here, so it kind of looks like samurai armor. They're like on the website now or whatever.
Yeah.
They're like really dope. I really like Undercover.
The full fits from that presentation, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Like future
sick.
samurai.
It was sick.
Wild fucking,
Shout out Jun Takahashi. We see you, bro. We see what you're doing, dude.
And I wear like I think the Daybreak undercovers a lot.
Yeah,
really
the Nikes.
Sneakers. Yeah. I really like
the plastic shit on the back.
Naruto heel.
not for me. They look like child sneakers, little toys.
What?
Do you, fam?
What?
You put little toys on the shelf, on the heel shelf?
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't wear
you put little tchotchkes on the back of your fucking little sneakers
or whatever.
No, fuck Blundstone. You kidding me? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, no. We don't
all right,
Blundstone anymore.
Chuck disappeared for a second.
Right, bye, Chuck.
So I kind of mentioned this, like the last blog on earth is your IG story. And if you want to ever like learn a new brand or a new store or a new designer, tap on Moy's IG story. Although it's been a little low recently, but that's fine. How do you go about discovering like so many new brands or designers and John's that like even your goats, even like your run of the mill John's addict hasn't even heard of yet?
I think
is it your explore page? Are you just like Are you like tapping into what people are following, into what they're following, into what they're following? Like, what is it?
Yeah, like I think like I don't know. I mean, I'm not afraid to follow a lot of people either, right? And so like I think that's a big part of it. So you just kind of see a lot on your timeline. But then like a good thing is to just follow like a store instead of just brands, right? So like like Japanese, like Wonder Mountain Irie, right, is like a really great Japanese store, and they just like carry a lot of like a breadth of a lot of things, and you're like, what is this goofy brand, like, and then you'll click on that and then realize like, oh, this is dope. Like that's how I found about like lately, like my favorite brands where I was, damn, I'm gonna buy stuff is like Goopy. It's like out of Taiwan. Dude,
Goopy. And what was the name of the other store you mentioned? Irie?
Yeah, it's like Wonder Mountain Irie.
Wander Mountain.
Wander Mountain. Yeah.
Wander Mountain Irie.
Yeah, I'm telling you, you go on there.
Yeah, no, it's fucking gas.
Yeah.
Like
these are all Japanese. These are all stores in Asia, Korea, Japan.
Yeah. Comfy
Japan and
Outdoor
Taiwan,
Garments
you said,
is like amazing. So it's like
what was that one?
Comfy Outdoor Garments. It's like it's like really cool, like typical hiking gear.
All right. This is what Lawrence and I say. Follow the stores. Don't follow the fucking influencers. Follow the stores, because those are the real professionals that are like curating the buy every season, and like their job is to like unearth the hot shit.
Yeah. I think stores for sure. I mean, or like people who like run the stores, not necessarily like people who put themselves out there. You'll see that a lot.
Jon Moy follows 3,815 people on Instagram. So this man is not lying. That's a lot. I thought I followed a lot of people. That is a lot. And that,
but like,
you for doing the research, bro.
Yeah. I mean, it's fun. Like, like I probably don't see a lot of stuff because I follow a lot of people, but like, I think like that's the key. You can't be precious about your follower count.
How many followers you have?
Around the same.
Yo, wow. This is incredible. You have the best ratio I've ever seen. Jon Moy has 3,716 followers. So you have a lot of followers compared to like most people. Like you're a micro influencer, but you are still following more people. That's how committed you are.
Yeah.
Fuck the ratio. Fuck
you gotta be egoless.
Fuck that. Jon Moy, realist in the fucking game, dog.
All right, so that's what it is. Just kill your ego and blow up your ratio.
Yeah. Kill your ratio.
Kill your ratio. Boy, we asked this with our previous guest, Chris Green, if that episode is still up at this point. COVID has leveled the landscape and kind of like reset everything back to zero. What do you think? Because you follow thousands upon thousands upon thousands of brands, and you've been in this shit for so fucking long. Like, what do you think we'll see in the post-COVID world coming from retail and brands? Like, I think it's actually, there's plenty of opportunity, but like, that's as far as I can go as an analyst. Like, where do you think it's going to actually take us?
Yeah, I mean, I think there is plenty of opportunity. And I think aesthetic wise, it's hard to tell, I mean, I think I'm surprised at the lack of cool masks. You know what I mean? I'm genuinely surprised by that. What the fuck?
That's why Jon Moy, you'll never catch him wearing a mask because they're not cool.
No, I got
because he lives in Michigan.
I got cool ones. But yeah, I mean, I think you're gonna probably see a lot more not direct to consumer in the sense of straight from the manufacturer to you, but I think stores are gonna have to do more content and stuff. If they're really going to keep people, because before, I think a lot of places relied on being a destination, you know what I mean? A lot of stores. And even for me, I'd just be super excited to go see it in person, even if I was going to buy shit online. So I think that for sure.
I mean, look at Nordstrom snatching up the number one content in all the fucking land with Gian.
Yeah, for sure. And I think I'm really
excited. Throw you with some gigs, bro. Yo, Gian, if you're listening,
I mean, look,
throw our boy a bone, dude.
He always has. Gian's a really fun editor to work with. Yeah, I would recommend him if you pitch him. Just let's throw Gian's out.
What's his personal email? What's his phone number?
What's his phone number, John? You have it, right?
But yeah, I mean, I think and to be fair, I don't know if a lot will change just because fashion doesn't. Even with just social justice issues, you don't see a lot of shit changing as much as you'd want it to, and I think that's the frustrating thing about fashion, with a capital F or whatever, not even just menswear. I think it's
the industry. You're talking about
the industry. It's super slow to move. You
think it's too entrenched to really foster actual change?
I mean, foster change within the industry or outside of it.
Or to be affected by change, whether that's internal or external.
I mean, I think, I think because it's a whole socioeconomic thing. Who gets to work in fashion? Because it notoriously does not pay well,
right?
You know what I mean? So who gets those internships? Who can afford to just ride it out for years before you get the director job or whatever? That determines a lot. I mean, there's still a lot of. Yeah, there's still just a lot of.
There's a diversity problem across the board.
Yeah, it's systemic. You know what I mean? And I think but at the same time, it's heartening to see brands like Pierre Moss just kind of not need it, right? Telfair not really needing and kind of just doing their own thing. And I think that might be the best. I mean, it's weird to say the best thing about all of this, but because it is so up in the air, I think everyone's kind of just trying shit. And so we're going to kind of see what sticks in a way. But yeah, it's hard to say. I don't know. I think anyone who's this is what's going to happen, they're talking out their ass. There's no way.
Yes.
Yeah. There's just no way to predict this shit. But yeah, I don't know.
In what environment besides a pandemic compounded by massive social upheaval could a podcast have a fucking best-selling boot, shorts, and t-shirt?
Yeah.
Top of the charts, top New York Times #1 bestseller.
Yeah, I mean, but even right, to your guys' credit, you didn't just keep doing what you're going to do when all of this shit happened. You know what I mean? You guys, I don't think it was a pivot necessarily, but you guys definitely highlighted real issues. I think it's not easy to do.
It was a refocusing, I would say, not a rebranding or anything. But
we changed dad ass to meats and cheeks. Mm-hmm. Kudos to us.
That was a big one. That was honestly, we are the real heroes.
Yeah, we spent a lot of money on that rebrand.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you, Wyden Kennedy, for handling that entire thing.
Yeah, I had a fucking 46-page deck
But like, yeah, and I think like
polling shows that Meats and Cheeks plays great with suburban moms. We're gonna go with that, guys. That's our recommendation.
Yeah,
Campus Analytica helped us out. Cambridge Analytica.
Cambridge Analytica. Yeah,
just doing targeted ads.
Sure.
But yeah,
I know you're right. I think it's like anyone that claims that they know is shut the fuck up. You don't know.
Yeah, you fucking. Yeah, like who do you think you are, Jon Moy? Can't be good.
And if you do know, why weren't you doing these things before? Like, are you just afraid of getting called out? You know what I mean? Like, how does this work?
If you don't know, then you still don't know.
Yeah. If you don't know, you probably can't afford it. And if you do know, you probably shouldn't be giving it away on a fucking podcast. You probably should be, hey, you want to call Jon Moy? You want to know what he really thinks? Cut the fucking check, bitch.
Yeah, Moy, what's your phone number? Where can the people reach you?
Yeah.
For gigs?
Not that, no.
No.
You guys... I've read the Reddit a few times. It's Wild West out there,
bro. The Reddit is the friend. The Reddit is friendly. The Reddit is fucking.
No, Reddit is evil. Well, was evil when they tried to destroy us from the inside. Now they're good again, I guess. The Cord is always the Cord. You ever been on Discord?
No. That sounds like I don't even really know what that is. That sounds like 4chan or something. I don't. That scares me.
It's the 8chan to the Reddit's 4chan.
Yeah. Isn't that 8chan? Isn't 8chan an actual thing?
8chan is the most evil and chaotic.
Yeah.
So the
8chan is like where like the New Zealand mass shooter like left his manifesto.
Oh, right.
Yeah. That's like dark.
And now it's called something else.
That's some real
like,
guilty by association type shit. You don't want to be
called
like
you don't
want to be called next to I read the manifesto the day it dropped. You don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I actually forwarded it to on a reply all.
Yeah. Discord by that rationale, our Discord is like 69chan.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Very cool.
A lot of 69 jokes. It's up. I love it. Let's zoom in on Jon Moy, the man. I mean, we can speculate all we want on the larger forces at play, but I think that we're all just fucking pawns in this game, and the universe continues on. Hopefully, the arc bends towards justice. Let's talk about you, Jon Moy. Your penis and your dick game got to be S tier, because how else would you convince your girlfriend to move to Detroit? Instead of you moving to LA.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, a global pandemic helps.
Sure. Yeah, but why didn't instead of you moving to LA, she came to the fucking shittiest city in the country.
I think that's Cleveland. This is the second shittiest.
You're right. Cleveland's a mistake on the lake.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think Detroit's that bad. Like, we don't have piles of garbage out like New York. I never got that about one of the best cities in the world, supposedly. They just leave garbage out for days at a time. I will ski in the summer.
Lawrence once said, "I love littering."
Well, it's the alleys, right? Because John, someone who went to college in Chicago. Chicago has no trash, right? It's all about the fucking alleys, bro. It's just different. Like it's the city planning. With that said, yes, that is New York's fault and our own problem, but it keeps the people honest. And engineering.
And I found out, when I found out everyone gets their packages stolen in their fancy apartment buildings in cool media elite enclaves. Fuck that. I'm not going to pay all that money for my packages to get stolen.
I've never had a package. Well, I had an air conditioner stolen, but I was living in Hoboken at the time.
As a freelancer and creative, you're home all day, so you can answer the doorbell.
Yeah. Doorbell? What are you talking about?
What?
We got a mailroom here.
But okay, so your girlfriend moved in. Do you think you'll ever leave Detroit?
Yeah.
Yeah. I to be honest, before all of this, the plan was right before my birthday, I was gonna fly out to LA, and then we were gonna go to New York, hang out, celebrate my birthday, and then come back. Right. And it was basically
never leave.
Yeah, just stay there and try and make it work. You know what I mean?
Where was Adrian living at the time? In LA?
What is the neighborhood? You lived in Koreatown? Larchmont.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
You were hyped for that. You were like, I'm fully on board.
Yeah. I had never been there before.
Really?
Surprisingly. Yeah. It just doesn't make sense that I had never been to Los Angeles, but I was hyped to visit, but I was I don't know, am I going to like it or not? And I was surprised at how much I did enjoy the city.
It was exciting.
I really did. It was really nice. Yeah.
LA is fun to visit. I don't know about living there.
I don't know, but I feel like that's how I feel about New York, though. Like,
Well, fuck you, bitch.
Well, it also depends for you, John. Like, where is the person I love, right? Currently,
that's a big part of it.
So that's a big thing. But I definitely agree with James's sentiment about LA. But I guess you're right. There are definitely people that feel that same way about New York, like John said.
Yeah, like New York's like great to visit, but like it is so hectic. Like the energy there is like wild. Like everyone,
you got to be the
like,
right kind of person, I guess.
Full turbo all the time in New York. You know what I mean?
Tells people
like,
to stay the fuck out. Build the wall.
You know, but
yeah,
I mean, like New York is fun. I like because I flirted with moving to New York. Like I feel like every 4 months.
I don't know if you could. I don't know if your energy, like you
could
said,
come to Brooklyn though. You could,
yeah,
like,
you could come.
I don't think I'd ever be like in. I certainly would have never like probably like lived in Manhattan. Like
I could see you like
way up, like maybe like Bronx or Queens,
sure.
Greenpoint here.
I mean? Yeah, like
Fort
I like
Greene.
Jeremy's neighborhood. I think that was like Fort Greene.
That was Fort Greene. Fort Greene's also probably my favorite neighborhood in Brooklyn for sure.
Yeah, that was cool. But yeah, it's just like, but at the same time, like every time I visit, I like flirt with moving, right? Like that's like the fucked up thing about New York is like it's like it's always the what if place. You know what I mean?
You're like Lady Bird.
Yeah. No, you're like Francis Ha, dude. That's who you're like, dude.
Sure.
John's
taking it back to Detroit, though, like another stereotype of Detroit is that like because it was so broke and cheap, all these fucking white hipsters were moving there. Like, is there still an influx of gentrifying hipster fucks coming to Detroit for the cheap land and the cheap thrills?
Carpetbaggers.
I mean,
or is that kind of tapered off a little
right
bit?
now? No, but yeah, for sure. It always happens. Like my neighborhood in particular is definitely changed because I've lived in the same building like 10, 15 years. And
you've lived through a recession and a pandemic in the same exact building.
Two recessions.
Two recessions. Yeah. Because I was like I was like in my early
couple
20s.
Wars in the Middle East.
Yep.
Still going.
Yeah.
Just
so, like,
never ending violence.
But yeah, I mean, I think like, but that narrative, I mean, I think it's just like kind of baked into like for people who like don't live here a lot. I mean, there's gentrifiers in New York. Like, let's be honest. Like, I love.
Yeah, you're looking at two of them, not me.
Right? Yeah.
We flew here. He grew here.
Yeah.
I can't.
That's like my favorite thing with New Yorkers right now is like just gentrifiers like being like, you moving out, you should stay here, and then it's like, which one is it?
No,
like,
go, no, leave,
city,
no, leave,
right?
Please
like,
leave.
You're all a plague on that city's culture.
Please leave.
But yeah, like for sure, there's like neighborhoods now where you'll see people like jogging or whatever, and you're just like, oh, whoa, this is wild. Like this is a different.
Right.
It's different. You know, like twee-ass grocery stores opened up for a while.
Oh,
you know,
damn.
like,
What do they got? Like Sir Kensington's mustard and shit?
Yeah,
Like,
you know, like it's like
Sir Kensington's Mustard Emporium. Grand opening.
Like 4 beats, you know, like just like that's it, you know?
Right.
A lot of like restaurant, like that was the big wave here was like more, no one was like really opening boutiques or anything like that, but everyone from New York and San Francisco was trying to open a restaurant that had no business opening restaurants.
Yeah.
You know, like a lot of like, you know, white people opening up ethnic themed restaurants.
Yeah, you tweet about this. You tweet about this a lot. Like,
yeah,
do you ever frequent? Would you ever go? Like, would you ever be like, I'm going to go here to just prove to myself how bad it is, or you won't give them your business at all?
I went to one, and I was like, all right, I'm just being a hating ass.
I got to see what all the hoopla is about. What was the cuisine?
It was.
You don't have to say.
It was noodles.
Okay.
Like
what type of noodles?
Like that was the thing. That was like. They just said Asian style noodles, which doesn't make any sense, right?
Nope.
Like, is this ramen? Is this what is
stupid.
this? You know,
is this laksa? What is this?
Yeah, and then like the big one that's like really popular. I have never been there, but I feel like very justified in never going there because they had to change their name because the original name in Thai was a slur for trans people, and they didn't know that. They just picked it because it sounded cool.
Right? They didn't know that because they're not Thai.
Was it a slur in Thai or a slur in English? Oh, okay.
No, in Thai. And then, like, the story came out, like, someone brought their friend there. Like, you got to try this amazing Thai food.
Damn.
And the friend was from Thailand. And they're like, what the fuck? I'm not going to that. That's fucked up.
Damn.
You know what I mean? And then, but it's very successful. That's the fucked up thing.
It's like when Chris Green It's like when Ray Kawakubo saw Chris Green's Chinese character tattoos and was like, "Pfft, bro.
But what John is talking about, literally, they walked up to a place and they're like, "This translates to transvestite cafe, basically, like something you cannot say."
I don't know. Yeah. I'm not going out on that limb and guessing what it
let's play guess the slur.
But and like the thing is, it's like successful, right? And like how restaurants work is then the executive chef spins off and opens the other one, and there's now like a Chinese place that is run by non-Chinese people, but it's like supposed to be authentic, right? That's why I love like whenever someone's like, "Oh, I want authentic Chinese food," and they like, go out with me or whatever, I would get like almond chicken, crab rangoon, because like, who are you, right? Like that's just as authentic as like, whatever right. It is. So like, yeah, I mean, Detroit's, I love it here, like, and I think it is hard for people who like grow up here to leave, particularly like people in like creative fields. I think it's always like a very big push pull. Like you've got to be on a coast, and so like I know a lot of people who like maybe their home base is here, but they spend a fuck ton of time on the coast. But there's always going to be like gentrified.
Isn't there a lot of ad agencies based in Detroit or ad offices, like satellite offices in Detroit, strictly for the car industry?
Yeah, for sure. Like there's like a huge presence of that, and there always has been, right? Like, and I think people don't get that. Like there was like a huge like just graphic designers like all live here, like a huge community since like cars have existed, like right.
The Shinola cottage industry,
like the building the Shinola is in, like their headquarters, it was like the GM building, right? And it was just like one floor was photographers, one floor was like just like admin, like Mad Men, like a lot of that.
Sure. Well, all those companies, when you're big enough, you have an internal agency at a lot of these places, right?
Yeah. And then those people like spin off and start their own. And so there's like a lot of like consumer products, like marketing agencies here. Like there's definitely, I think like that's like the fucked up narrative is like that there isn't any sort of like that industry here, or there's like no real culture. When you're like, okay, where'd techno come from? And like all of this stuff, like there's like a lot of musicians that come from here.
Eminem, Kid Rock, all the good shit.
Danny Brown.
Yeah.
Danny Brown, Moody Man, Carl Craig, Plastic Man.
Moody Man.
You know what I mean?
I'm a classic.
Dude, Moody Man is fucking fire.
Yeah.
And I'm like waiting for like, people to like read like Christopher Columbus, like Ghetto Tech and stuff like that. It's bound to happen. DJ Assault.
I mean, Moy, this is why we love you, right? Like you always provide like next level analysis,
right?
In a way that is like
deeper.
Fun and like interesting and challenges like whatever stereotypes that we jokingly presented. And obviously you don't think that Detroit's a fucking burning tire fire. It's burning shit fire. And
still doesn't smell like pee in the summer. Like you could be in the fanciest place in New York. It smells like
because you can piss wherever you want in New York. That's what makes it. You can piss wherever you want in New York. That's what makes it great.
You can litter wherever you want. You can take a shit in the fucking street.
But we got the High Line.
Yeah.
Damn, that was a bar.
West Side Highway. Let's go jogging on that. Like I know.
Let's get artichoke pizza.
Yeah, it's kind of fire.
$17 a slice.
Yeah.
But no, your analysis is like external to internal as well. And like, I think something that I very much admire and about you is the bravery that you exhibited when you very publicly wrote about your mental health and depression. May I point out before it was cool to do so?
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. I don't know. Was it ever like...
Absolutely. I think a few years ago, there's very much this like fucking glut of everyone, but including men being like, I struggle with, rah.
There's definitely people who do it for clout, though. I think that's kind of like, and you definitely, I mean, as your editor, like I can say for a fact without beyond a shadow of a doubt that like, no, like that's not what it was for you at all.
The dudes that do it for clout, though, like, first of all, do you notice that?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really like pay attention too much. I think when it's like just kind of like surface level, like, did you just like look this up in the DSM-5 or whatever? Like, yeah, I get it. We all like, I think it's like anything with social media or the internet where like terms of art within like it, like, so like a depressive episode like that, everyone now knows what that is, even though it's like a very specific term. And so it's like, it might get misused. But I think like at the end, to use a cliche, at the end of the day, I think it's like all good. Like I think almost any, just if it leads to a discussion about it, it's good. Like I love when like the Players Tribune has like a athlete like write about it. Like Kevin Love did it.
Sure.
I think DeMar DeRozan did it. A really
I think
good
that was sponsored content with Banana Republic though, so that doesn't count. Kevin Love piece.
Hey, get your money, Kevin.
Can you imagine?
As someone who doesn't do well with sponsored content,
that's so offensive, James. Imagine someone actually doing that. That's pretty good.
I mean, but I feel like there are brands like that who are like sort of wrapping like commerce around mental health, which is like a weird feeling. You know what
Absolutely.
I mean?
That's.
But do you think
disgusting.
it's a net positive that whether it's as low as a fucking caterpillar's belly and it's like sponsored content around mental health, or it's just like guys tweeting that, hey, I struggle with this, even if it's pretty clear that they're doing it because that's a bit of a current wave.
So
phenomenon.
anything that normalizes it could be perceived as good.
But could it be net positive in that, like, yes, like at least this conversation is now like normalized, like Lauren said.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it like necessarily hurts. Like, I think because I don't think anyone's going to go around and be like the depression police and be like, prove it. You know what I mean? Like, show me your fucked up apartment. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, or anything like that. I think like, I don't think there's like a lot
should we though? Should we start policing depression?
Nah. And I think like, even when I wrote that, like, I think the conversation with me and Lawrence was in like to Lawrence's credit. I think I was like, I'm going to write about this. I don't know. And he just like, I figured it would be like a back and forth and like maybe a bit of and like he just like fired it off. And I had no idea that anyone would really respond like the way it did. It was like very nice. You know what I mean? I think it, like, to be fair, I think it, like when people would like come up to me, that would be like the thing that they would mention more than like, let's say like the Shinola thing. Or,
yeah.
Like,
that was
whatever.
a big one. I remember that really going off. I think a lot of people related to that.
Yeah.
Appreciate you writing it.
Yeah. And I think that at the time it was maybe.
What year was that? Do you remember?
Forever ago, right, Lauren?
Because it was. I mean, this is my point. Is that it was very much before talking about like mental health or struggling with depression was like a lot less commonplace, if not straight up rare, compared to like now or even like a few years ago.
Yeah, I mean, I think like I haven't like looked back at it
for dudes,
really
for men.
Time. Yeah, for dudes. I think for anyone really. But like I like even in that piece, I think you can tell like I didn't even really have like the full vocabulary of like how to like express it other than, and like I think like that's probably the next wave is to like I think there's a lot of discussion about it, but maybe not as much about like what is it like and like figuring out how to like tell people what it's like is like super difficult. And I think like that's probably like the next like level of it if you really want to like help people. I think because there's also people who don't have these issues and like they need to like wrap their heads around like what is it like to date someone like me? You know what I mean? Like what is it like to be an editor for someone who might go on airplane mode? Like, you know what I mean? Like that shit is, and if you don't, right, like if it's not normalized, it's like I couldn't just be like I'm not filing this today, right? You know what I mean? 2014
Sad Boys IRL : depression is not a meme. This is it lives on your site, but it lives on Complex. So you can someone if they want to read it, it's all there without the cover art, obviously, but the text is there. Yeah, that was a huge one. I remember, and I think to your credit, the reason that there wasn't like this intense back and forth was not just because of the way that I edit, which is completely laissez-faire. It was like, yo, this is great. This is like it was a really good perspective, and clearly one that was super honest. And I was like, yeah, maybe I think we went back and forth maybe one or two times just to get it. Because the stakes are higher with something like this. Yeah. Even if it's fucking 4 pins and nobody gives a shit, it's not fucking 60 minutes. But with that said, like I remember being like, yo, this, and it hit, right? I think everyone, or not everyone, but the majority of people when they talk to you about your work, talking about this, like, yeah, I think this rated extremely highly for probably a certain like dude at that time who was like looking to, that was probably younger than us, looking to guys our age, for perspective like I think on the shit that you couldn't get anywhere else.
Yeah, and like you look at the demographic of like who was reading Florpins, and like at the time they were like high school and college kids, and so I think I remember like filing it or whatever, it was like done, and I like drove to my parents' house, which was like 45 minutes just to like see them and then like I remember like I had a text from Lawrence like, yo, it's like getting really well received, like I'm really proud of you or whatever, and I was like, oh, like it was like and then it was like this moment of like, oh man, that's sharing a lot.
Were you nervous? I mean? Were you nervous to put it out there? To put yourself out there?
No, I think like that's also like the cool thing about living here is like I don't really interact with like a lot of people who like maybe read the site that much. You know, I would have to go to specific places and like, you know, like this shop or like this coffee shop, then those dudes might be reading it. But like the only ever time I really ever had to like deal with like repercussions of what I wrote on Four would be like in New York, right?
Sure.
Did you ever have like IRL clout or fame in Detroit? Like there must be stock X kids that are just like, yo, that's Jon Moy.
I mean, like, so like my sister like lived in Ann Arbor for a little bit and like worked in like a lot of restaurants. She's like a pastry chef, and like a lot of like the servers and stuff were like college kids. And so like I would like go into the restaurant or whatever, and they'd be like, yo, that's your brother? And she'd be like, yeah. And then she'd be like, what's his name? They'd be like, John. And they'd be like, oh, Jon Moy. And she'd be like, yeah, you know me. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then, like they'd be like, oh, I read Four Pins or whatever. So like that would happen. There's like a shop in Ann Arbor like today, which is like a great clothing store. And like, yeah, sometimes that might happen, but not really. You know what I mean? Like famously, I tried to go to like an art show at like the Red Bull Gallery that used to be here. And I was like, I'm right for Complex, like whatever. And they're like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
You know,
The one time you tried to use
street urchin, get out of here. And I was
You
like, wow, embarrassed. So I never tried it again.
Was it ever like about that for you? Because like you famously have no ego. I think anyone who knows anything about you is like you're such a fucking you're almost too humble to a fault. Like, is there any even part of you that like does like love that shit? Because I know James and I eat it up and we talk about it quite a bit.
Yeah. I'm not gonna front. Like I paid for the extra tier to watch my like when we did the Epically Later for you guys. Like that was a genius move to make a little bit of extra money that month, guys. Because we're all
just that month
maniacs. Yeah. And I was like, I think I forgot. It's like Netflix.
Right.
You know, every month I'm like, fuck, those guys got extra $7 from me.
Yeah.
Keep forgetting.
You did great in that too. That was sick. Thank you, by the way.
Oh well, it was great. It was a great idea. But yeah, I think. Like, yeah, it always feels good. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you know, like, yeah, Fashion Week is fun. Like, you know what I mean? Like getting an invite, sitting down, like that shit feels fun.
Diaries.
You know,
sitting next to me and Fleetwood just drooling on your cane.
Yeah. Sitting down because you're gone off of perk 30.
Yo, yeah, I remember it was Vicodin and something just called Narco. Like that's what the drug. That's like the technical term, and I was like, I don't remember any of that.
The street name, they're calling it Narco. It's this new drug.
Perks and Narco sounds like a Gucci mixtape.
Yeah,
that was Yotel.
Of course it was, bro. You were fucking. Everything was purple, dude.
You hallucinated that. You hallucinated that it was a fucking cruise ship.
You were living that black Hollywood lifestyle, bro.
Yeah,
you were like, you thought it was. You turned Manhattan. You turned the island of Manhattan into Atlanta, bro. You were
to Dr. Manhattan.
But yeah, I mean, I think like the one like thing that backfires about whatever trying to appear humble is like people are like wild comfortable like trying to roast you. You know what I mean? Like about Four Pins and like everything like that. And there's like moments where I like definitely want to toot my own horn about like that, or like me and Lawrence, you know what I mean? And everyone who worked there.
No, just you.
No. Like he's definitely like the coach. You know what I mean? Or the producer. I think that's probably
the offensive coordinator.
I saw myself as a director. Jon Moy was one of my leads. It's like more like
yeah. I always thought of it like, or like, yeah, we were like making an album and he'd be like, nah, I do it like this. Or like you know what I mean?
Rick Rubin, baby.
Yeah.
Timbaland.
So like but I mean I think there was like a big influence. I like seeing Four Pins like influence now with like brain copy and shit. Like I will definitely in my own head be like, you wouldn't be fucking doing that.
What about the generation of memers on Instagram, which is awesome? And like, if you love fashion, like kids don't remember when there was a time where if you wanted to make jokes about fucking sneakers and clothes, like you had one website to go to and it's like one Twitter account. And now there's like 100 of these pages and I follow all of them. They all fucking rock. Salute all those. Yeah. They're low. They know more about what's happening right now than like, you know, you and I will as olds, but like, that is literally all from Four Pins. And if you try to tell me otherwise, your head's in the fucking sand. You're a bozo.
Yeah, exactly.
Sufu too. Obviously.
Yeah.
Four Pins is the Lil Wayne.
I guess 4chan had fashion, had an FA.
But yeah, I think like, people, it's like to butcher an analogy. It's like everyone's like kind of clowned on the flow, but then they all stole it.
Ooh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So everyone is Drake.
And we're
not saying we're the best out. Just find someone better. You know,
All right, Moy, though.
Ooh, nice.
So let's go.
You do
Going
what we
back to you.
want, and
Going
do
back
what
to you.
can't do about it.
yeah.
Going back to you talking about like mental health and struggles with depression. So like you mentioned in your day-to-day, like it sounds like you take a lot of like mental breaks. I think gazing out the window is good. Like you're not on your phone. You're not just like, trying to swallow this fucking deluge of information. You talk and just being in Detroit and away from the fucking madness of LA or New York is great. Like what else do you do for self-care these days?
Yeah, I mean, I think like to be fair, like my significant other helps a lot because I think the danger of like being very aware of like your mental health and like what you're going through is like you can kind of like I don't know if it's like an excuse, but it's definitely a reason, and you kind of just like lean on that reason to like maybe justify not doing work you're supposed to be doing or procrastinating it, like because I get anxious about stuff. Right? That's why I didn't text them back or email them back immediately, right? And I think, a big part of it is like there still needs to be like a lot of like self accountability, like holding yourself accountable. I think like that's the hardest part. Like that's what I've been working on the most. Is like because I can sit and do nothing all fucking
forever.
You know what I mean? Like I don't get bored. You know what I mean? Like I got like a low idle. You know what I mean? Like, I don't. Right? Like
you're the Lance Armstrong of sitting
like
still.
Some people have like a high idle and they like
you're
okay, I'm done with this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that.
You're the opposite of a shark.
Yeah, I'm like.
Aren't sharks notoriously like very fucking?
No, if a shark stops moving, it dies.
Oh, right. Okay, got it. Because he's the opposite of a shark.
Moy's a barnacle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bitch, I go motherfucking barnacles.
Enemy or whatever those are. Yeah.
You're a hermit crab, bro.
I think they move a little bit more than
you're a bivalve. You're a bivalve.
Yeah, like a bivalve. I'm like doing good work. I'm filtering the ocean, like absorbing carbon.
The ocean is the zeitgeist.
Yeah. And
you're out here cranking out pearls.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn.
Exactly.
Yeah. But every 50 years.
Yeah, but hey, it's worth a lot.
Sure, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Always working on that pearl necklace.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think like I think just having like quiet time. I think a lot of people could, right? Like I'm probably too far on the spectrum of like having a moment to myself and taking quiet time. And I think like there's somewhere in the middle, right? Like I think everyone should slow down a little bit, I think like.
Are you doing any like meditation or all this new age? I mean, again, this is all some fucking LA fuck shit, and you probably would have fallen into this crystal life if you had like moved out there and become a fucking witch or whatever. But like, I mean, whether it's recreational marijuana or meditation. I mean, even gazing out the window is a form of meditation, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think like the one thing about all of that is like, so in undergrad, I was a religious studies major. And my concentration was like
a priest?
No, it was like I mean, a lot of people think that, which is weird.
A lot of people think that.
I'll be like religious studies, and they'll be like, "Oh, so you're gonna be a priest?" I'm like, "What part of me makes you think that I could live a life of asceticism?" But I like my like BA and everything was about shamanism, right?
Okay.
And like plant based and like sort of like
trippy man.
Yeah, like ayahuasca was my BA. My BA was on like the ayahuasca ceremony and like how that works and like other like psychotropic plant-based medicines and like meditation, all of that. So I was like exposed to it really young. So I like I didn't ever try ayahuasca. I never would do that. That's terrifying. But like meditation, like Eastern, techniques like that. I was like, I tried when I was younger and I was like, I don't know, it doesn't really work. But yeah, like Adrian has gotten me back into like, it doesn't have to be like a mantra you repeat all the time. It's just like taking a moment, clearing your thoughts, trying to assess how you are actually feeling rather than just like pushing through the day, I think is like really cool. But yeah, like I think that's why like
taking inventory or stock, like a self-assessment.
Yeah. Just like, how are you feeling? And there's like apps that help that, it's just like, do you feel anxious right now? Do you know why? If it's like just like sort of like generalized anxiety, that's fine, but like just be aware of it. I think taking stock like that. I think for me, like gardening or walking, those are all things that like, I mean, I think even exercise, I think that's why like I need to get back into exercising more is like, it can be meditative, right? You kind of just like focus on your breathing and you're focusing on your footpath and your footfalls and like doing all of that. So like for me, like I used to run a lot. Since like getting back into that, I think is like a good thing I've been trying to do. Plus it's another excuse to buy John's.
Exactly.
You know
I was about to say that's just more fits.
More fits, bro. More,
Get back
more
in
shoes,
that Governor
you know?
Gyakso.
Yeah, you can only play as good. I got in trouble all the time playing sports in high school. So I'd be like, yo, I would wear like the cleats that weren't like team approved or not in team colors. And I'd be like, coach, you can only play as good as you look, you know, and I'd take a lap. But yeah, for sure. Like I got like the new Alpha Bounce with the Nikes with like the carbon fiber and like the crazy soles. So like
The cheating
like,
shits.
Shape ups.
Yeah, but they're wild. Like they definitely change your gait and everything. It's pretty cool.
They spring you forward.
Yeah, they're like it's all about that 4-foot push or whatever. And like,
It's
yeah,
like
you gotta get like
those dunk trainers, like the big platforms.
Yeah.
Buy in the back of an East Bay.
Yeah.
You end up running a 4-minute mile.
Hell yeah. No,
All right, boy, we got
this man.
We got 18 million. We had when Nick Grant came on, he bumped us down to 17.5 or 17.
Yeah, we got.
You brought us back to 18 million without a fucking doubt. What's the first piece of foundational advice you give to any of the 18 million listeners listening at home who want to get into menswear in some or media in some capacity? Menswear media.
Professionally, James?
Professionally.
Got it.
Professionally?
Because they want to break into it, right? So they have no connections. They're in the Midwest like you. You know, they're starting from square fucking one. They're just a corn-fed farm boy like yourself from a fucking flyover state. What do they do?
I mean, like, one, work on your own point of view. I think that's like the best part of not being in, the industry at first is like, no one's really like, you don't have peers that are like have these cool jobs that are going to like overly influence you, right? Or like these other like people, like editors in your head or whatever. So like use that,
Sorry.
you know, use that to your advantage and just like work on what you think is fucking cool and like stick to your guns with that shit. And then also honestly, just be polite. Like you'd be surprised at how far being nice goes. Like you can flow into people's DMs if you're polite about it. You know what I mean? And you'd be surprised at who...
Lawrence is shaking his head in disgust right now.
We say it all the time. If you hit a motherfucker up, like off rip, like they fucking work for you or some shit, whether you're a fucking Patreon subscriber or not, just, yo, please, guys. That's the key, dude. That is 99% of it, as far as someone who gets DMs every so often from people.
Yeah, and I think, like, people are genuinely surprised. Like, yo, just be nice. Like, it was like, I didn't even live in New York, right? But it's just like, I met this person at a party and you're just pleasant and you like are cool. Most people are going to like remember you more than like the dickhead.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But like, no, it's good. I think like, yeah, just be nice, stick to your perspective and like do your research, you know, like if you have to know what you want to do, right? Like, I think there was like a plethora of like, if you go to like whatever Menswear 1.0 and everyone had a fucking blog, not a lot of those dudes really wanted to write. It was just like, I want in, this is the way in. You know what I mean? But I really want to be a creative director. I really want to be a designer. I really want to open my own shop or be a buyer. If that's the shit you want to do, that's who you follow, right? Like that's who you like check out, like, you know, and like, so really figuring out what you want to do. It's like the hardest thing, right? I'm still like all over the place. Like, it'd be cool to like own a shop. It'd be cool to like do a little like
knowing what you're good
at
helps, right? Not just what you want to do, because a lot of people have aspirations where it's like, yo, what is your skill set? And it might take you experimenting with a lot of different things. But for the most part, I think people have an idea, an inkling, assuming you have self-awareness, which is the greatest commodity of the human condition, you know, just to couch that statement. But like to know what you are capable, like James and I, we talk shit. What the so we're podcasters, right?
Yeah.
Jon Moy, that man, he can write a rant and he can yell a rant. So he's pivoting to himself, right? So I think it's just about
the man can write.
Yeah. So know what you're good at.
And you can't be like, you know, you got to just put that shit out there. Yeah. You know what I mean? And like, you're gonna suck. Like, I think like a lot of people are afraid of being bad at something, but you know what I mean? It's like skateboarding. You're not gonna like just pick up a deck and fucking tray flip 5 cent.
Whoa.
You know what I mean?
Unless you're a member of the Broke Dick Mongoloids.
Yeah. Shout out our skate team.
That's our skate team.
It's our skate team.
Oh,
Yeah.
who's on it? You got Flo
Jimmy
Riders?
Garecki. We have Jimmy Garecki.
Oh
Yep.
shit! You got a legend.
Who else?
Antonio.
Antonio Changoli.
All right.
Narc Dad.
No. Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber is on it.
Lil Wayne, and Justin Bieber.
That's pretty solid.
Because they all push Mongo.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the thing?
That's when we say the broke dick mongoloids. To be clear,
I'm
That's
saying I can say that. Lawrence can't say that.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a slippery slope for you, my friend.
Oh, really? I can't say the name
It's
of my own
edgy.
skate crew.
It's edgy.
That's super edgy. Is that you can't even say the name of your own skate.
Damn.
Bars.
Damn. Maybe you should do my
BDM.
PR.
BDM. That's what it is.
Delicious.
Lawrence has to say BDM. All right, Moy. Let's move on to the second topic of this podcast. We're done talking about ourselves. Let's get into
topic 2. Shit.
topic 2 of 3. Money.
Ka-ching.
We all fucking love money. How much money do you make?
Yeah.
Not a lot.
But how much?
Not a lot. Who has anyone ever said their salary?
Neve Schulman.
We've gotten a few.
Wait, you interviewed the catfish guy?
Yeah.
On a
Get
previous
the fuck out of
podcast.
here.
On the previous podcast endeavor that shall not be named, and boy was he
How much
excited to
does
tell
he
us
make?
how.
500 grand.
He said 500 grand.
In the
He was
past,
excited,
like,
and he was
fiscal year.
excited to share that number.
He makes 500. He made 500 grand a year just doing Google image searches.
And that was like an off. I think that was like an off year for him. Like I don't think he had like a.
Yeah, he was a little
he's
bit
doing, like,
past
the
his
show.
prime. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was doing a previous podcast endeavor who shall not be named. So you know
Right.
how well he was doing, or really,
And he was doing
how
that
well
he
wasn't.
was doing that in lieu of being at like the hospital when like his child was being born. Like
Yeah.
he needed the
Whoa.
press.
Yeah, he was blowing
Whoa.
off steam, or he was just blowing off steam with the goddamn motherfucking boys. We don't know what else was going on in his
so
life.
he told us we've had people that are like, you know what? Like it's important that like, this is
Rob
what I do.
McMillan, our barber,
his
barber.
Yeah, he told us like here's what I pulled in because I'm putting my blood, sweat, and tears and all my money into launching a small business
Yeah,
that is hopefully, my life for the rest
Mildred, right?
his legacy.
Rob from Mildred, yeah.
yeah.
We had fucking
Gian told us the job. He told us his salary at high snob before he left for Nordstrom.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's radical
no,
transparency.
it wasn't good. No, it wasn't very good at all.
Well, it was very bad. But it's radical transparency, and you can be as radically transparent as you want or not, John. Yeah.
So as a freelancer working for
It's
an
not great.
NDA company and 316's newsletter, you're not making that much money.
It's like waves, right? Like I think it's anything else. It's like way more. Like you can have like a up month.
Boom and
You know what
bust.
I mean?
Yeah. Have
Feast
you
and
thought
famine.
It's definitely like if you're like trying to be a freelancer and you want that to be your only gig, like full time, you got to be super, super organized, super disciplined, and
How many of those are you?
Shit that you don't want to do.
How
I'm
many
like
of the-
1.5 of those. You
Right.
know what I mean?
I was going to say the boxes aren't looking fully checked, my guy.
no, they're not. You know
all right,
what
all
I
right.
mean?
Let's say that you had your druthers. How much money would you like to be making?
Yeah. What is enough? You said you're
This is
not
also
making
telling
enough
because like
or not
nobody
a lot.
wants to be like you're a fucking psychopath if you want to be a trillionaire or a billionaire, right?
Oh yeah. You have horrible issues if you want like a lot of money.
Lawrence, you want to be a billionaire?
No, I don't want to be a billionaire, but I want to be like
All right, so Moy, how much money?
I mean, I wouldn't mind
high
to have,
roller.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind not having to work. I fucking hate working. You know what I mean?
I'm aware.
I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like, well, you've got to do the math on that, like whatever that would be, but like
forever? We're talking like a yearly intake. What are we looking at?
Yeah, how much do you need to fucking do what you want to do?
You don't need a lot. I mean,
Well,
yeah, like
What you
if
want?
I stayed here, like if it was like LA or New York, that's a different.
Okay.
But it's right
right, like,
now.
we
It's
got
right now,
tiers.
Moy. It's right now,
No,
Moy
like,
in
I would
Detroit.
say,
Like, how much
like,
money would you like to
ideally-
make?
Yeah, ideally.
I'd take 120.
Nice.
All right.
That probably
That is-
goes a real long way too.
It doesn't go that long. I'm
You're going to be the fucking president
I don't
of
want to sound
Detroit.
too gauche. You know what I
You
mean?
could buy a
But,
whole
like,
block.
You're the Dan Quayle.
No, you can't. We got like $1 million mansions here.
Okay,
You guys are
Eminem.
crazy.
Okay,
All right,
Exhibit.
well, with the amount of
But yeah,
money
I mean, like
that you're making,
I think Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You can go, John.
I'm just saying, like 120. That doesn't sound like a lot. I don't think to a lot of people. Like that sounds like
I think
whatever.
it does.
I do think that's the lowest amount people have expressed as like their desired income, which it's not a bad thing. It's just like you are able to make that work.
We normally have people on that don't live in the Midwest. Right? Like that answers the question.
Grant.
So I think that's
But like, like I mean,
I think Nick Grant said he needed give me a cool $300 a month and I'm gonna live like a king.
And I'll be the mayor of Des Moines.
Like I mean, sure, would I I'm not gonna turn down like 250. You know what I mean? Like, of course not. But
120.
But when you like do it, like I'm not like gonna buy like that many clothes. Like you know what I mean? Like I just don't anymore.
Yeah.
Like
but do you spend your money on? That's the next question. The little that you do have, what are you spending it on?
Like food.
Like going out meals.
Used to. Right. You know what I mean? And travel, right? Like I used to that was like my big trade-off was like, yo, I can live here, but travel a lot. You know what I mean? Like I was always like kind of worried about like moving to a city and then like you gotta like make that city be everything because it's like hard to travel, right? It's just expensive.
Yeah.
And like I don't want to travel like on a fucking like wild budget. You know what I mean? Like I want to
stay at the Yotel. I don't want to stay at the fucking Fleabag Inn by the airport.
The Yotel are nothing for me. Only the finest for Jon Moy.
Your biggest pod, sir.
How much money you can make as a freelancer in fashion. Yeah. Right? Like, you want to stay at, I don't know, what's a cool hotel now? I don't even know. The Hoxton.
I will be staying there in a few weeks.
It's nice. I stayed at the one in Brooklyn. It's not bad.
The one in Brooklyn is ass.
Of course.
It's no Yotel. I'll say
that's how you can also like. My favorite thing is traveling with New Yorkers to like very non-New York cities. like, yo, Lawrence, your wedding was so fun to walk around with a bunch of people who've been living in New York forever. It's so funny.
Wait, why?
Just because like it's like New Yorkers out of New York bingo. It's like, oh, people are fat here. This shit is cheap. It's so quiet. You know what I mean? You're like, ding, ding, ding.
Yeah. I was like I think we were walking down the street and some guy walks past and goes, howdy. I'm like, shut the fuck up. I was like, why is that guy talking to us?
And then like New Yorkers see
strangers trying to talk to me.
You know what I mean? Oh, that's always funny. Like Houston was a trip with all the guns. Sure. Like the open carry. That was wild.
I was shooting off 6 shooters when Lawrence and Jenna kissed.
My man was looking like Yosemite Sam, dude, just fucking unloading the clip.
That's how Gian knew it was time to finally show up.
Yeah, James was letting the fucking chopper sing, bro.
We did have a pretty good meal.
Yeah, right? No, at the food hall. We went there. The food
hall was fire. Vietnamese food in Houston was fire.
Yeah, no, Houston has fire Vietnamese food. I ended up getting a disgusting amount of food. I got like a banh mi.
Yeah, you got
wings, a barbecue thing.
I looked like you were on like a Food Network show.
I was like, I'm on vacation, motherfucker.
The Bourdain episode on Houston is incredible. It's one of the last ones. Really good. I don't know. I guess it's parts unknown. I don't remember, or I don't know.
I flew there first class.
Yeah, you and Jake Wolf.
My favorite thing was you two trying to big up each other on. It was class flight to Houston.
It was only one of us. Only one of us was trying to flex nuts on the other, and the other was just naturally flexing nuts because that's how they live their lifestyle.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's like some poor like veteran who's like being relegated to sit next to the fucking shitter because Jake Wolf had to flex dick on James Harris.
I will say
ended up sitting behind me.
The biggest flex though when he showed up in like a Rolls Royce to get on the bus.
Nate for
with
sure.
The big 10-gallon hat.
That was fire. Yeah, that was a big dick.
That was amazing.
Shout out Nate, dude. Shout out Nate. Hell yeah. I forgot he pulled up in the Ghost.
He pulled up in the Ghost, dude.
It's like, yo, I was just stargazing.
Stargazing in the Ghost.
Remember because we're on the bus and the fucking car pulls up.
There's one guy like that at every fucking wedding. There's one guy at every wedding that's like, hey, listen, I'm going to show up the bride. So it's just going to happen regardless.
I will say I was probably the only guest Lawrence came up to the day before the wedding. It was like, seriously, what are you wearing?
Hell yeah.
Nate, though, with the rolls, he was like, no, this is what the hotel gave me.
Yeah, right.
He was like, this is
did he stay at like the Intercontinental?
He stayed at the Narco. He stayed at the Narco Yotel.
It was why he showed up like, I was like, oh, it's Narco Corriente.
Gone off the narcs, dude. was a good time. R.I.P. R.I.P. to fun content.
Yeah. But of all the people you work for, Moy, who's your best paying client in history? Shinola. And
No.
who's the worst?
Yeah, it's probably the hush money.
Yeah, it's the Shinola hush money.
And who's the worst paying client? Who should people avoid?
4 pins.
No.
You got paid well though, because you were.
That's what everyone at Complex kept telling me. I don't know. They kept telling me I was already at the ceiling.
Right. There's nowhere to go.
I asked like 4 different editors, like, "Hey,
yeah."
But
nowhere to go, but right here.
316 is definitely they're super good. Kind of. There's a lot of people who still try and pull like a exposure thing.
Oh, that's
like,
the worst. Pathetic.
Yeah, like one time. Yeah, that's the worst. Like I won't don't do that. Don't fall for that for anyone. I don't unless it's like. It's got to be very.
It's tough if you're just starting because that's a systemic problem, right? Like it shouldn't be that way at all. But some maybe for the right outlet,
that's
the right
exploitation.
Situation. Yeah, it really.
Yeah, and then it just fucks it up right for everyone, right?
Exactly.
Like that's like what happens. It's like, well, fuck it. This guy wants too much. There's a kid who will do it for $250. You know what I mean, or $100.
Yeah,
sure. You know what I mean. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty standard. Like I think. Like menswear in general it's not gonna pay that well. You know what I mean? It's a small market if you just do the economics.
Learn how to write for fucking Raytheon, right?
Yeah, cars, auto, because like that's like always like the sad thing, right? Is like a writer will become a copywriter.
Learn how to write learn how to write for the Republican Party.
Exactly.
Yeah, I bet you Breitbart pays like crazy.
Oh, dude,
I'm sure it does.
Sure.
Huge.
Absolutely.
Huge. All right, let's move on to the third and final topic, which is, I guess we'll bring it back to the classic. It is
Yo, Chuck, can we get one from you too?
Yeah, there it is. Okay, now I'm
Damn,
into it.
bro.
all right. So you mentioned that your girlfriend moved in with you in Detroit to be with you in Detroit. I feel like your IG story is a magic 8 ball, right? Of portending of things to come in the Jon Moy world. So are we going to start seeing some rings on your IG story soon?
Ooh.
Maybe. Yeah.
You're not opposed to the institution.
I'm not opposed to it. No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. I would probably want to wait until like we could have like a wedding and not like
sure.
Is it going to be in Texas?
Yeah.
I might
You
just
give me enough time
do it at the
to
same
rent a Rolls
venue,
Royce.
same hotel. I'm just gonna.
That would be sick. Yo, run that shit back, Turbo.
Same DJ, everything.
That'd be sick, dude.
Are you going to barf the night before your wedding?
Wow.
That's out there. That's public knowledge.
It's nerves. You know?
Yeah. I was shit faced. It wasn't nerves at all. It was multiple shots anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I feel we were all to blame for that, like more than actually Lawrence was.
I didn't get in any trouble, real. Besides my dad just absolutely losing his fucking mind.
Keep it on the fairway, Larry.
He was in full on Kamala Harris mode, bro. Yeah. He was trying to fucking police the whole situation. I said,
yeah, for truancy.
This is above your pay grade, sir. Yeah, right. Yeah.
What about
He's trying
obviously
to make me hand in my gun and my badge on that one for sure. That was not going to happen.
Yeah.
Obviously, Moy, a few things maybe have to happen before this next question's premise. But are we going to see some little Moys running around Detroit just making fun of StockX employees anytime soon?
I'm not like I'm unlike you two. I do not think kids are mid.
Well, obviously you're a patron, but you don't necessarily listen to the Patreon episodes because the kids are mid's attitude has evolved.
A little bit. Not for
on
me.
On whose point? Part.
Well, Lawrence may or may not be getting a vasectomy.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
I mean, this is not something that
was that
like,
Nick Grant influenced you?
What's up? No. But well, I mean, I will say, if you had asked me, do I think any of my friends or like friends within like a certain age range have had vasectomies, I would have probably said no. So it was illuminating to hear that Nick Grant was like, yep, in there, fucking got it done, get in, get out, snip, snip, whatever. I don't know if
snip, boom.
If it's for me, but I definitely am still not going to have kids either way. I think James
has strong, huh, Lawrence?
Yes, 100%. I think James has maybe evolved his thinking a bit.
It's not, no, it's that the kids are mids is like, oh, kids are mids. But it's like, but the actual thought behind there is a little deeper, you know. It's basically we've run out of material to talk about. So it's like, let's talk about our thoughts on kids.
Yeah.
I feel you.
John.
I mean, sure. I feel like the concept, like raising children, they're going to break your heart, right? And they're going to do shit that you don't understand and like whatever. So like, yeah, it is definitely not to be taken lightly. Like, I don't trust anyone who's like not worried. Like when your friends like, yeah, we're having a kid or whatever, and they're like not worried. No, you're gonna be a bad.
That's a bad.
That's a red flag. You know what I mean?
Like anything anything that we discuss, John, there's nuance, there's layers. I mean, that's why we're the only podcast.
That is
exactly.
But like, what about like adoption? Would you adopt a kid?
Well, it's about money.
No,
it's not about
about selfishness and money. So no. So fuck those kids also.
Okay.
No.
Also your time, the ultimate money.
Damn. Time.
Wow.
The ultimate money. It's a good
Chuck,
chunk.
Working on Wall Street now?
Yeah.
Greed is good.
The dividends on kids are low.
Yeah.
I'm going to smoke this doink, and then we're going to need 2 more.
And then you're going to bring 1 more doink every 4 minutes until one of us is on the floor.
You know, attitudes are changing. You can definitely smoke weed and be like a good parent now.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
Yeah, Chuck, you ever thought of that?
Or not even now. I don't think that smoking weed makes you a bad parent.
I meant like society might have looked
the general
at
perception
society, bro.
The general perception is definitely like, yeah, you can be a fucking parent and still pump green butts.
Yeah, or you know, like I went to college with a kid who like his dad told him that it was tobacco, so he'd smoke weed in like a traditional pipe, and then he was a very sheltered kid, and then he came into someone's dorm room and it smelled like his dad's tobacco, and he was like, "You guys smoking tobacco?" Like,
it smells like my dad's wacky tobacco.
Yeah. And like to watch a kid at 18 realize his dad's been like
that rocks.
Yeah, that was a good one. But
Dad, your pipe tobacco is so loud. So stinky, like a skunk fart.
But yeah, I mean,
Dad, your tobacco's mids.
Dad, I'm hungry.
Yeah,
it's probably
great transition into one of our final segments down the home stretch. 30 seconds of thirst. We had Chuck's Redemption Corner, but we had to keep the 30 seconds of thirst. Unfortunately, Chef is on his way to a fucking boys' weekend in North Carolina.
Yeah,
one of the Carolinas. I don't know. What?
Yeah.
He was very upset. He was very upset that he couldn't be here. He loves you, Moy. We're going to turn the mic over to Chuck. Let him ask you anything, pitch you on something. Also, I love the way that Chuck's camera is and that he has a black chair. It looks like he just has he's a floating head.
It looks like a magician, kind of.
Chuck, 30 seconds of thirst. The floor is yours.
John, I want to know, have you ever considered writing a book? Because I would love to own like a Jon Moy book, like put one in every room.
Yeah, like, wow, that's really nice. Yeah, I mean, like I've definitely like people have been like, yeah, you should write a book. I think like I've thought about like it would be a short book, like a chapbook, or you know what I mean?
It would be
like,
the detox of books. It would take fucking forever to come out.
Yeah, it would take forever.
Chinese democracy, Jon Moy, a memoir, dude.
Yeah, but yeah, I think like I've definitely thought about like writing like a collection of like essays. I think is like the thing. Yeah, for sure. Or like a comic book. I used to like toy around with like
that would be
like,
sick.
Yeah, like a cool.
Have you thought about the hero?
Yeah, well, it'd probably be like I like love heists, so I think it would be like a heist. I've got
it would be like a more of a graphic novel, comic book for adults, not necessarily.
It wouldn't be like that Eminem music video where he's like Robin and Doctor is Batman. Would not be that.
I don't even sure. You have a lot of Eminem references. Just like
I did my research.
I'm impressed,
bro. I made my one Eminem joke on.
Yeah, you just blew it too early, man.
Yeah. On another podcast, but yeah,
that's why he doesn't have kids. He blows it too early.
Yeah.
Well, wouldn't it be the he would have kids.
I don't think James knows how sex works.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, all right,
P in the A?
sure.
You pee. You just pee.
You just pee.
You pee. You pee. That's what everyone
Pee
says.
in the
Pee
butt.
in the V. You urinate into a woman's vagina, and she gets pregnant. Yeah?
All right, Moy, you're
Sure.
clearly well, thank you, Chuck, for question. And Moy, we
Man,
hope
that
we
went off
see
the rails fast, Chuck.
we hope we see
Sorry.
something. We hope we see something like that from you, because that'd be fire.
Yeah, I
Nice
even
comic
thought
book.
about like, because right now everyone's just at home and like doing a physical newsletter. So you'd get a letter in the mail from me.
Oh wow, that would be
Don't
cool.
steal that idea, anyone who's listening.
Probably
I'll call you
Support
out.
the postal service.
Yeah.
Exactly, all that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because I want to like maybe do a little digital panhandling too. It looks like a lucrative gig.
Ooh, wow! I love the sound of that.
Yes, sir.
You know? Maybe
We gotta-
me and Nick
we gotta
Bank do
normalize
something
digital-
Like that.
We got to normalize digital panhandling, because that's not what it is. But
Yeah.
it's
I mean, it's like you guys are like the guys who are like, oh, let me take your picture, and then they take your picture and they're like, give me $1.
like the Elmo in Times Square.
Yeah, that's how you guys are. Or like, yo,
But to be fair, we're more racist.
yeah, probably a little bit more problematic. Or like, you're like, yo,
it's
check
not
out
that-
my mixtape. It's free. Oh, but you should give me $5.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not digital panhandling. We are literally tearing down the walls
we're content
of
creators.
big media fucking barriers to entry and democratizing this shit and tearing them down asunder like Jericho. All right?
Yeah,
People
Wow,
elbowing.
just playing the trumpets outside.
People's
here.
elbowing the fucking Murdochs in the penis.
we are paradigm shifters. We are zeitgeist definers. We are not digital panhandlers. Get it right. Read the New Yorker. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
.com. Not in
Not
not
front of the paywall.
.com. .com.
Moy,
At
despite
least
what
I don't got to
people-
use a VPN to read it. You know what I
Yeah, exactly.
No.
You don't got to pocket that shit. That's how I read all Jacob Gallagher's shit on Wall Street Journal. Just
Yeah.
send it
I
to
only
pocket.
read the preview. I can't get any past
It's like,
that, man.
what is this about?
You
The
don't
intro
need,
is just a fucking allegory. What is this actually about?
you don't need to hire a Danish gang in Arc'teryx and fucking Nike dry fit gloves to break into the paywall to get the content.
It's true. I always get the question, but never the conclusion.
All right, Moy. Speaking of conclusions, let's get into it. You are a taste god. It's true. Like, again, the last blog on Earth, the last good blog on Earth, it was John's Tumblr.
Yeah, shout out.
Now it is your IG story, because that man is just making fucking coffee. We want to know what you're fucking with and what you're not fucking with in this segment we call Fuck With Not Fuck With.
The working title, baby.
Still working title. You're a freelance writer. Maybe you can help us come up with a title. We're going to throw some
Not for
categories
free?
at you. Tell us what
Oh.
you're fucking with,
Okay.
what you're not fucking with. First up, brands currently, not all time, just currently, like right now in this very moment, what brands are you fucking with?
Obviously 316, 18 East. I really like that Japanese brand Mountain Research. I really like what they do.
A lot of yen.
Pierre Moss. I like that brand Thumpers. It's like a New York brand that's only available in Japan for the most part, except for maybe like Tenet or something like that. There's like this one brand, like they just sent me some stuff, like Good
Ooh.
Fishing. I feel like fishing is bubbling up. They
Obviously.
do like a lot of cool,
course.
like they're
You're welcome
to talk
for
about-
that.
To bring it back to blanks, their like t-shirt blanks are super nice, and they do like a lot of embroidered work, and like some glow in the dark shit that's pretty cool. Goopy, I'm telling you, Goopi, that shit is fire. Yeah, comfy outdoor garments, all cap studio.
Yes,
Shout out
sir.
Saeed.
Uh,
Ooh, boy! If man, if you like All Cap Studio, we
Let's
might
just say this.
We
Let's
just
just
might
say
have a
this.
little fucking treat for that ass.
I sent
Is this
Said a
a-
text.
is this
I sent Said a
tease?
text during this episode. That's all.
Yeah, that's all.
all right.
Something.
You guys love teasing. I really like Crenshaw Skate Club. They also did green mesh shorts.
Really?
That are pretty cool. Yeah.
Were they 5-inch inseam, custom hemmed by a woman? Not because that's a woman's job, but because we purposely sought out a woman so we could pay a woman. That's what
Hemsworth
I mean.
sister.
Yeah,
Anna Hemsworth.
Mrs. Hemsworth.
Hey, Mrs. Hemsworth.
That's so bad.
We're waiting, baby. We're
Are you
waiting.
doing the Mr. Carter?
I was trying to do Mrs. Officer, but I did Mr. Carter.
Mrs. Carter? What the hell? Damn, dude. Okay, cool, man.
Going off the rails.
Woo!
right, who you
Yeah.
not? That's a lot of brands. That's a lot of fucking brands.
Fuck with a lot of
Shout out
brands.
Kevin Stew that does the newsletter. You got your work cut out for you, bro. What are some
He's
brands
gonna
you're
type all that out.
not fucking with? Who sucks?
I mean, I still don't really fuck with APC anymore. It's
fuck,
like
fuck Jean
it's been fuck
Tutu.
APC.
Yeah.
It's like expensive Madewell clothes,
Fuck.
but he's
APC
also like
till APC
unrepentant
fucked.
racist. So like,
Yeah, he never apologized for cherry blossom.
never apologize.
Never.
He's got so many things. He said China has no culture. Like before all of
He
this.
said the N-word.
But even before that, like he's had so many times to just why are people still fucking with that dude?
The only two people that can, well, I guess John Tutu is not white, right? What is he, half
Algerian.
Algerian? Because I say the only two fucking white men to never get canceled for saying the N-word, John Tutu and Dave Portnoy.
That's great company.
I mean, that's just another one of those exclusive clubs that were.
Lawrence, I'm sorry to burst your white privilege bubble, but there are a lot of white men that have not gotten cancer for saying.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I mean, like, whatever. It was-
America. Like,
yeah, Donald Trump.
George Bush Jr.
Yeah.
and Senior.
Yeah,
Reagan,
sure. You know, Reagan loved the N-word for sure.
Machine Gun Kelly.
probably.
Yeah.
Yo, what's up with that
LBJ?
pivot? Now he's like a punk. He's like pop punk now.
Yeah, bro.
That's wild problematic, right?
I mean, the label is just like, yo, you know, it's pulling well. MGK is fucking with his painted nails and
I know.
fucking perm.
Hey, I guess get your money, right?
You
All right,
couldn't,
fuck
you couldn't
fuck
pay me
APC.
$1 million to listen to a single MGK song.
No, especially when he used like hip hop and that whole like culture is like
It was the
Just a
number
way
one
to-
album in the country before 21 Savage dethroned his fucking frail ass.
big flames.
Pussy.
Pussy.
I love when 21 Savage just goes 21.
21.
Yes,
20.
that's the best.
21.
So menacing.
Kind of like Rain Man. 20, 21. 21.
Well,
20, 21.
All right, so you're not fucking with APC. What's you not fucking with?
Ops, pay say.
I don't know. I don't
Nice.
really like.
Woo!
There's not much I like. Really don't. I mean,
Okay, that's fine. If you
right.
will recall your entire career at Four Pins, you hated on a lot of stuff, but it's nice
Did
to
I?
see. Bro, well, I
I
guess
thought I was like a pretty,
equal
generally
opportunity.
I
well-natured
think
fellow.
you would allude to people without necessarily naming them.
We would shit on like GoFundMe type stuff. Not GoFundMe,
Yeah.
sorry. Kickstarter. GoFundMe is for like a good
Oh,
cause.
yeah,
usually.
rich
We
people-
used to shit on every GoFundMe. If your mom's dying of cancer, Jon
Yeah,
Moy's coming
fuck
through with
that.
the banhammer, bitch.
Yeah, rich people using
yeah, startup.
crowdfunding to like fund a project.
Yeah.
That's kinda
Kickstarter
weird.
startups, you
That's
definitely
kind of
do, like-
weird.
It's like Cha-Cha Matcha, or like, what are you talking about here?
I don't even know what
No.
that is.
No,
I guess they didn't use a GoFundMe.
that's for the better. No, you would make fun of like a Kickstarter for like a bad product. We always would shit on that. So it'd be
Yeah,
like, you know,
that's true.
Are
That's
you
true.
are you
Like,
are you a guy but you don't know how to tie shoes?
Oh, yeah.
Here's Velcro
Like, untuck it.
shoes.
like
Yeah.
I don't really fuck with any like tech bro brand.
Fellas, is
Yes.
tuck it in your shirt gay? Well,
Yeah.
you're gonna love untuck it.
It's like the old infomercials where they would make like a simple task look like wild difficult. Like, can you not? You know what I mean? And then you go, yeah, exactly. So like those.
I can't get my pockets
closed.
closed.
Yeah,
I'm good on like the psychedelia trend.
Yeah.
Like,
really. Yeah,
Like the shit
Yeah.
that's just like, hey, I do drugs.
Yeah, like not everyone needs to have a mushroom. If it makes
The
sense
mushroom
for your
shit's great.
brand.
Online ceramics,
what I mean?
you're not fucking with online ceramics. Is that what you're saying?
That shit is so expensive.
nice online ceramics. You must be a fun guy. Oh,
You'll be receiving the shirt in 9 to 12 months.
Which is, I feel like that fits. Like if you're buying stuff from dudes who are just like that heavy into psychedelics, like it's gonna take a minute.
What do you think about more like not psychedelics, but the more like new agey shit where it's like more like graphics from like gardening textbooks from the 70s and shit. Yeah, like Ohio or like
wellness, health and
NorCal, like
wellness.
where Don Draper ended up, like the new age symbology and shit.
I mean, it's hard, right? Because like we were talking about this before. Like I studied that in college, so it's like it's just kind of weird to see it now, like presented as cool.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think there's like a lot of like appropriative stuff because like a lot of that stuff comes from like communities and cultures of color, right? And so then it's just like for the most part, like white people kind of repackaging it and like maybe changing a word a little bit and holding it. Like that's kind of weird.
But did you not study it in college because you thought it was cool?
I mean, I thought it was cool, yeah,
right.
But I wasn't trying to make a brand out of it, right?
That's
like
fair.
I was trying to, like,
that's fair.
You
thought it was interesting, not cool.
Yeah, there's
like,
a difference there, right? And it's not superficial for you. Whereas obviously the nature of merchandise and clothing.
Yeah, like I wasn't like into it because I liked the way the shaman looked.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, they got off some.
Yo, these textbooks are fucking sick. You mind if I like get a couple extra?
Yeah.
Can I screen print this?
Yeah. Yeah. But it's hard because then it's like I'm hating on wellness and like self-improvement and like no, but like I don't know if you need like a look for that.
Right.
You know what I mean? I will say like
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe just the reactionary nature of fashion right now. It's like just let's not swing the pendulum so much. Like let's just like admit that like there's cool sneakers and cool loafers and everything in between.
That's why every time Lawrence is like, Ivy's back, I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Oh, I got a theory about that though.
What's that?
Here we go.
New prep is back because it's just like the Bush era redux. It's white fragility. It's popular again because white people are actually like subconsciously uncomfortable with society even possibly changing, so they're going back to like these wild enclaves.
I just fucking came. Yes, these closed campuses that were like demarcations of elitism, and it's like you can't get in here because your fucking daddy doesn't have.
You don't got a monogram
Warbucks.
right here. You're not allowed in the club. You know what I mean? Like,
what's your fucking supper club, bitch?
I feel like you're both attacking me right now.
Yeah.
No.
I see that fucking
white.
blazer.
Oh my god, is this white fragility?
That's a little white fragility right there. It's like, the white fragility came out.
Are you guys attacking me?
My god, hold on. Let me phone the podcast police. I have two men attacking me on my podcast.
But for sure, it vibes a little like it's like when all of a sudden like a white media outlet will try and cancel like a particular like form of slang. Right, and it's like not cool. It's not useful for them anymore, even though it's like
interesting.
I think
no longer
like,
lit, fam.
It's like
Thank you, McDonald's. Thank you, McDonald's.
Is it lit?
Like it's like we gotta stop saying like I'm fleek, and it's like shut up. Like who are you? You know what I mean? And
shut up, you honky.
All right, yeah. And I do think that there is like I didn't come up with Bush era redux. That was like Aisha Siddiqui, but like. I think that was the most.
A lot of people have been asking.
I think she's super prescient. Like the stuff that she says is going to happen.
She does trend forecasting now. I think that's what she does. Yeah, shit. Maybe that's
all right. But like when I saw her like tweet that, I like could not like see it without that lens.
Could not unsee it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you go and unlike some of my fit pics most recently?
No. But like, like I do think there's like a weird like neo prep or whatever. Like
that's damning. I mean that's damning analysis, and I'm sure it's completely spot on for a certain type of person. Sure.
There's that pic of Reagan with the tucked in shirt to the sweatpants. Yeah. You tuck your shit into mesh shorts, and I was clowning on you. Yo.
I had a T-shirt tucked in the other night.
Who sees the parallels?
That was an all-caps studio T-shirt that was tucked into the shorts, and that is by a fucking independent POC designer. All right.
Let's move on to sneakers.
All right, let's do it.
Moy, what sneakers are you fucking with? What's in your rotation right now?
Reebok Workout Lows.
What do you think of Club C's? Are you because you were always
I like Club C's, but I like the gum sole, like the thick gum sole. Like I fuck with gum soles, like heavy. But I still wear because like you can get them resold. Is like the Victory Sportswear. Like they're like I really like those. I think those are like super comfy shoes. What other sneakers?
Are those Canadian?
Yeah,
right.
Canadian. I think they're New England.
Oh. Jound collabed with them. Like that was like the first Jound collab sneaker. Was the people forget. People forget.
They're really nice sneakers. Like I really like them. I've had them forever.
You get them you get the sneakers resold. That's they'll do it for you.
Yeah, they'll do it for you. You can like send it to the company. Yeah.
That's fucking sick. Shout out to fucking.
Yeah, and they're like all gray. They like look a lot like New Balances, I think.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
It's unbranded, right?
Yeah, basically. Unbranded. Yeah, just like a thing on the tongue. I really like the Undercover Daybreaks. I really like the Union 4 Guavas. I really wanted those. Like I haven't woken up early to try and like do that shit in a long time. And like that was probably the first time in a long
10
time.
a.m. Your time?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's early. To buy sneakers, that's early. You know what I mean? I'm not to live your life.
I make a meal by 10 a.m.
He had a big breakfast to cook.
Yeah,
you know?
Come on, man. I had to do some gazing.
Taking my first nap at 10 a.m.
Yeah. I really like the space hippies and like the Nikes, like what Nike's doing. I think
like
those are really cool.
Do you like the aesthetics of it or just like the whole mission behind it?
No, I like the aesthetics. I like the boot kind of one, like the high top space hippie. That's the one I really liked. I didn't get those either though. I fucked up. And then like the one that got away probably is like the Mars Yards. Like I really.
Oh really?
But then when I found out you had to do push-ups for him, I was like glad I didn't try and get them.
Boy, what do you think of the pod boot? I don't care about anyone's opinion. I don't care about anyone's opinion except yours.
Yeah, honestly, Lawrence, it made me think of like the Bean Boot Project.
Sure.
To take it all the way back. Like I like them. They're versatile.
Just improving on classics all day, baby.
Yeah. I like
Lawrence keeps that next to him at all times.
I would too. How fun is it to make your own shoe though, James? Like Lawrence is an old hat at this, but it's fun, right?
No, it's great.
Swatch God.
Who swatches the Swatchman?
How long did it did you guys know you were gonna do a boot?
Yeah. I was pushing for that. So whatever. We had to pick a model and kind of like come up with our own materials and shit. I was pushing for that from jump. I was like, we got to do the mashup, duck boot, Chelsea boot.
James forgets, before it was the mashup, the Chelsea duck boot, they did just do a lace up, right? Like a taller one that we didn't think was right for New York, but that's when we were like, yo, but a duck boot would be sick. And then they showed us this thing.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Because I was like, yo, remember when Celine did the duck boot and that was fucking gas. And I think they did an all black on black duck boot, and it was only an Essence. And I was like, I want to do that model.
And I definitely was the one who was like, this reminds me of the Celine duck boot. And I showed it to you. That was definitely my reference. You don't fucking know shit about high fashion. You're
Steven Victor would wear the Celine duck boots all fucking day. So
really?
Of course.
Damn,
so you want to do some futuristic sneaker shit. And I was like, Lawrence, we cannot, we are not Galaxy.
I wanted to do an Optimus Prime hiking boot, but the problem was, again, in New York, bad. You want a more of like a fall and winter thing because, for the most part,
that makes sense.
It's going to be wet and nasty, and you don't need like something.
But that's like a dope boot for like just stomping around the city, right?
Yeah. Sure, 100%. Thank you for letting us argue, John.
Yeah,
I love just throwing a grenade in there and like letting it go. Like who picked me?
Just fucking snipe. Wow, James, I really love how you designed that boot. Yeah, I know. Thank you. What sneakers are you not fucking with? Come on. Give me something. Good.
Say it.
I don't know.
Fucking say it.
I'm trying to think.
Say Yeezy, motherfucker.
Say Yeezys, bro.
Just say Yeezy, bitch.
Say
Yeezys? I mean,
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
yeah, I mean, they're a little ubiquitous for me, but I don't know. I don't really that's what's hard about sneakers is there's so fucking many of them. You kind of only really pay attention to the ones you like, and everything else is kind of like endless scroll.
What about the dunk phenomenon?
The chunky dunkies, the Grateful Dead dunks.
What about Virgil's latest Play-Doh dunks? What were those?
Oh, those are like an SB.
I don't even think I saw those. I don't know. I mean, I don't hate all of Virgil's stuff. Like for sure, I'm not in that camp. I really like some of the Jordans he's done, and then I think he did Prestos that I really liked.
He did multiple Prestos, but
a while ago, those are really good. I agree.
But I feel like people are too enthusiastic about hating on Virgil Abloh, and it makes me uncomfortable.
Right. It's like they want to pile on a successful black man. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's Jean Tui too from Ops Pese. Get that motherfucker out of here, dude.
All right, let's get into non-sneakers for a second. What non-sneaker footwear are you fucking with? Or do you want to do a sneaker? Do you want to do a sneaker Mount Rushmore real quick? Top 4 all time.
Workout lows.
Yeah, workout lows. Probably Jordan 4s.
Nice.
I really I think they're waffle racer 2s. I have a couple of dead stock from way back in the day.
Nikes.
The Nike waffle racers. I got one more.
Yeah.
Oh, Stan Smiths. I think they go up there. I think it's
Do you still wear those now or not? Or just
yeah, I'm not a big I'll wear. I don't have them right now, but I'm not they're too many people have Stan Smiths, like they ruin them for me.
Well,
Like,
now I think is the time, right? Shit, if someone wanted to at home wanted to freak some white sneakers, I mean, shit.
Yeah.
You know,
I still got my raft stands.
Same, but I never wear mine. Yeah, but I have.
Yeah, those are great.
I'm waiting.
You know.
Really?
I mean, they're not dead stock. Like I have already worn the shit out of them, but like
they're navy,
taken
right?
good care. They're like a dark matte, a little lighter than a navy.
Yeah, I think it's like a great shoe. It just looks good with everything. Like that's why it's so popular. It's good for it's popular.
If it's good enough for Phoebe Philo, it's good enough for you, right?
And I don't know if you've ever seen this movie Lady Bird or seen our For Real on Lady Bird, which is probably not going to be out for another week. But like, it's okay to like basic things. That's one of the through lines of the movie.
Yeah, like I'm saying, like if your style gets fucked up because it's popular, you probably wasn't ever like your style. You know what I mean?
Sheesh. All right, let's move on to non-sneaker footwear. What non-sneaker footwear are you fucking with right now?
I just got a pair of red Wallabies that I really like.
Wow.
I really like Clark's is like starting to do more colors. I love a Wallaby like all time. It's probably my all time favorite shoe.
Do you size down on Wallabies?
Half size. Yeah.
That was a joke.
Is that like a joke?
It's an inside joke on the podcast. You know, where a lot of kids ask and.
Hey, you gotta do the service, right? You charging them $5 a fucking month.
You can size down.
Tell them when to size down.
Unusable recon
to a full. Yeah, unusable recon. You can do a full.
I guess it depends on your foot.
Yeah,
I do a full.
Yeah, I do a half. I think. Yeah,
I think I'm like on the bigger end of a 10.5. So like
depends where you are. You know.
Yeah.
Reds though, that's a bold color.
I love like
it's a bold baller.
I've always like colorful shoes. You know what I mean? Like I definitely like wear a lot of color. I think.
What's your block? 400.
What?
Your block.
It's a Bloods joke.
Yeah.
What other non-sneaker footwear are you currently messing with?
I got like these all white Birkenstocks with like the heel. I don't know what the maybe Montanas, but they don't tie. It's kind of weird. I could go get them. I don't know. Yeah, they're like all white
orthopedic-y? Like what's the fucking?
Yeah, very orthopedic-y.
All right.
I really like those lately. Those are comfortable. I really like Birkenstocks. Yeah. I got like these quaddy ring boot moccasins I wear a lot.
Yo, those are good.
Oh, gee.
Yeah, those and they're super comfortable.
Yucatan has a ring boot that I've been tracking on Grail for years now. The guy has not lowered the price, but he hasn't obviously he's not sold them in years.
Yo, Yucatan are great. Like I have like the classic field boot with like the yellow tongue or whatever. Those are great. Those are like great winter boots. These are the.
Oh, look at those, dude.
What the fuck?
Yeah, they're like orthopedic.
What the fuck? Are those two-tone?
Kind of. It's like a patent leather and suede.
I'm pretty sure that's the Birkenstock Stacey Adams collab.
Hell yeah.
That's the Birkenstock Bozo like the Clown collab.
Yeah, I love them.
Those are wild.
The Ronald McDonald twos.
Yeah, you gotta take some risks.
That's the Jon Moy meal.
So if for everyone at home, imagine a Boston that was a lace up, and because of the Boston shape, it looks like a fucking clown shoe.
Yeah,
with a heel.
Oh yeah, with the
That's
heel.
a different material than the toe box.
If I get chased, I'm good.
Jon Moy meal at McDonald's is a quarter pounder with cheese, no pickles, medium fries, and some fucking
big old shoes. I feel like
a complimentary pair of Stacey Adams Birks. Yeah.
Yo, Stacey Adams Birks would be pretty fire. I'm not gonna lie. Like a crock.
Yeah, bro.
Are there any non-sneaker footwear that you see out there that you're not fucking with currently?
I'm not like personally. I don't really wear loafers. I'm not gonna front.
Why is that? I mean, you never have.
Yeah, I just never have.
Is there a reason, or is this just not for you?
It's just not for me. I think I look goofy in them. You know what I mean? Like I just, they vibe like kind of emotionally distant dad for me. You know what I mean? Like the dad from Boiler Room. You know what I mean? Like I feel like he has like a big loafer collection.
Right, Giovanni Ribisi's dad.
Yeah,
who's very disappointed in Giovanni Ribisi's life choices.
Yeah, and then Giovanni Ribisi's like, Dad, the FBI just called me. And he's like, you better get a lawyer. Like, what kind of fucking dad does that?
Yeah,
fucked up.
Oh, he firmly disowns him. Yeah. It's tough.
Chuck, have you had any PTSD from when you took some cheese graters to your heels and we went out to Lilia one night?
I still have the scabs.
Wait, did you raw dog some loafers?
Well, I tried to put a Band-Aid in between, but
you unboxed them.
They went flying. Yeah, it was really bad.
That's
House of
rough.
1,000 daggers to his fucking heels.
He unboxed his Achilles tendon. That's what he unboxed, dude.
Yeah, like, I think
he rolled that shit out like the red carpet. Kobe. R.I.P.
I had
Black
some like
Mamba.
horse bit loafers for a minute, like churches or whatever, and those things fucked my feet up.
Damn.
Like the leather, yeah. So.
Lawrence raw dogs is shit. I'm not a fan of raw dogging.
Only certain-
Anything except like Boston's and any like sandal
You have
for
to
like
really
airflow.
break
I
your
just can't.
loafers. Or like get an unlined, or like it's a high
any
end
hard
thing.
bottoms, like no dress shoes at all. You don't wear.
For me,
socks?
it's more about sweat and funk than anything else. It's not about
But
like.
if it's natural, if it's leather, it's not gonna stay sticky.
Well, you should smell my Belgians, boy.
Yeah.
Sheesh. What are you doing in those?
What am I doing? I'm exercise.
I heard Belgians are like not comfortable at all. Though.
No, but they become so comfortable, and they're just super flat. I mean, but
Is it just Rich Styles flip flops? Like they suck at the beginning and then they just like.
Basically, yes.
All right.
They don't have a bottle opener in the sole.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, that's the only. Honestly, that's the only thing that are missing that would make Belgians perfect. It's a fucking reef style, so I can open up bottles of the Topo Chico.
We got to do that on our next
Don't
collab.
do
We got to
those.
put a fucking bottle opener in the sole. Whatever it is.
Oh my god, we should have installed it into the DMAs. That would have been incredible.
I'm sure Vibrant's got
They
a
were
bottle
custom
like that.
soles or they were custom
Yeah.
color. Damn it.
Custom color. The last was already done on the
Damn.
mold.
All right, Moy,
Yeah.
what do you talked about watching some TV here and there. What are you pouring into your fucking brain via the ears of the front of your face? What film and TV are you fucking with?
I fucked heavy with Top Boy. I really like that. That is like probably my most recent binge.
Yeah.
I've been watching Gangs of
Top
London.
Boy.
You guys watch that?
No.
What is that?
It's like, it's on here. It's on AMC Plus, which is kind of like whatever. But it's an English show, and it's like, those movies, The Raid, like those
Yes,
wild,
the,
yeah,
they're
so
awesome.
the Indonesian shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're
so
fire.
Gareth Evans was the director, and he directs and like
course, he's
kind
a
of
white
like
guy.
heads this. So yeah, so it's like a mix of like kind of like a mafia drama, because it's like all the different gangs of London, like they all launder their money and like do all this stuff with this one central family,
Mhm.
and so it's like that family dealing with everything, and then like every episode there's like a wild raid style action scene, just like out of pocket, like just insane. So that's probably like the thing I've been like. It comes out like every Thursday.
Sounds like some
or
Guy
whatever.
Ritchie shit.
Gangs of London.
Yeah, it's good. It's not bad. No, it's not like Guy Ritchie. No. It's a little.
That wasn't
Guy Ritchie kind of rocks, dude.
Guy Ritchie, yeah.
Snatch and Lock,
Yeah,
Stock
but it's
is
not
good.
like that.
You like
no,
Diggs?
I guess.
Rock and Roller.
Yeah, Rock and Roller was pretty good.
It is
I
pretty
like that
good.
one. I like that one.
It's underrated, but Snatch was
Snatch is peak, obviously.
Yeah.
And Lock, Stock is really
Lock, Stock is
good.
a maybe not classic, but like
The
classic
the Sherlock Holmes movies are good too. He did those.
Yeah, I don't hate on them.
RDJ, bro. RDJ.
Yeah.
All right, what else are you watching right now?
Shit.
Like Diggs?
I've been watching like
You like Dags?
this show called
Dags.
Married at First Sight. You guys heard of that show?
That's
On
some
Lifetime?
TLC shit. Or it's Lifetime?
Lifetime. Yeah, that show is wild.
People love that shit. That's like the new
Is that
90
the
Day
no neck
Fiance.
guy? Was that the no neck
No,
guy?
No,
that's
that's
90 Day
90 Day
Fiance.
Fiance.
Oh, okay.
This one is like a little. There's not like the weird power dynamic of like a green card being attached to the marriage.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
The exploitation.
Yeah. But this season's wild because like halfway through it, quarantine starts. So they don't have a choice but to hang out with each other. So it like gets like that. Obviously, when they all start fighting.
Right.
So I watched that, and then
Sounds
like
like my
low
relationship.
key. I got like smart TVs. Did you guys know this? Smart TVs have like their own free cable now.
What?
No. Okay.
Yeah.
Go on.
So like my TV has like it's like Samsung Plus TV, and they got a Baywatch channel. So every once in a while, like when like shit
Old or
is like
new?
overwhelming. No, new. Or I mean old. It's like they just literally play
Like Hasselhoff, Pam Anderson,
Yeah.
Baywatch.
and they just play it like every episode like on a
What was Baywatch? I've never seen an episode. Was it like a procedural? Like is that they're solving
It's
a
weird.
case,
They
but then there's
are.
overarching stuff.
Yeah, well,
It's like-
there's some over.
Yeah.
No, they don't. The continuity's fucked up. Like one time,
Oh.
David Hasselhoff broke one leg, and the other leg got bit by like a rattlesnake, and they just end it. And then the next episode, he's just fucking running down the beach, like no mention of it.
Right.
But that's
That was a one-off.
yeah, it was just a one-off. That's like probably the weirdest thing that I've like surprised myself by like being like, I'm
Is
gonna
it
watch one more
good?
of these. No. You know what I mean? But it's
But
also
it's like a time portal to another
it's like
place.
And I never watched it like growing up, and it was like such a thing like when it existed, and to like watch it now and be like, huh, that's, and it's like way less like
it was a phenomenon, right? Like
it
was the number one show in
the world. Yeah. So like
Jesus Christ.
And it's also funny because like the lifeguards are always like solving crimes and helping people, and the cops are useless. So it's like very prescient in that sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
dude.
We just need more like civil services.
Defund the police, fund them.
Defund the police. Like Hasselhoff was all about defunding the police.
Hashtag fund Baywatch. What is it?
Baywatch.
What were their crew? Like, what are they? They're lifeguards, right?
They're lifeguards.
Yeah. Okay.
But they watched the bay.
Yeah.
All right.
What else? Yeah. What else you watching? Anything else? Any movies? You watch Mulan?
I did not watch Mulan. I'm not paying $30 for that shit. I'm Chinese. I don't got to pay $30 for that.
Well, I wasn't asking because you're Chinese, but now that it all makes sense.
Oh, you bootlegged it. You just got a torrent?
Yeah, bootleg. Yeah.
Sick. You are Chinese for sure.
I got it's like on 2 DVDs. You know?
Yeah.
I had to find a DVD machine player. No, I don't know. New movies? No, I have not seen Tenet. No. Like, I'm not fucking risking my life to see that. You know what I mean?
I would like to. But
are movie theaters open in Michigan?
Oh, definitely.
I don't think so. No, our governor's been pretty good. Like, gyms weren't allowed to be open for like until like last week, but the fucking Supreme Court fucked it up and like declared like the emergency law that she used to pass all of these things unconstitutional. Damn. So like now it's like up in the air as to like what will be open or not. But
no.
Is there anything you see people fucking standing over on the timeline where you're just like, I like film TV wise, we're just like that's not for me. That shit is fucking dumb. Like Emily in Paris or like Great British Baking Show or what else is popping right now? The Boys, me and Lawrence are into.
Yo, I've been trying to get into that. I just like keep forgetting The Boys.
Yeah, it's really good things about
The Boys.
Sick.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really like yucking people's yums. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not really into that, but like, yeah, like,
is that what kind of sexual euphemism is that? Yucking people's yums? Let me yuck
you. Never heard that?
I love yucking yums.
No, but tell me how you're.
I mean, it just means like don't judge people. If they like it, they like it. It's not hurting.
No, but it's not individual.
Oh, so it means don't kink shame.
Yeah.
The only kink you're allowed to kink shame is kink shaming. No, but what I'm saying is like there's some popular shit, but it's just not for you. I'm not saying you fucking poop on it. It's just like that shit is not for me. What's popular that is not vibing with the Moy household?
What is? I think this is what's fucked up.
I just named a bunch.
Great. I mean, Great British Baking House was like all right. I remember my sister's like a baker, so like it's like whatever. It's like I don't really want to watch like amateurs struggle. I feel like it's just kind of weird.
Struggle, they're fire.
I mean,
wait, what's the point? What is the point of the show? Like good bakers or trash bakers? And it's
they're like good bakers, but like they don't win anything.
They're all
like
amateurs.
Very British.
It's very British. They all help each other. They all help each other out. Like
I don't give a shit at all.
It's like I don't need heartwarming shit. You like that? Really? Like, I like heists. You know what I mean? Like I watch violence. A lot. Den of Thieves. I watch that a lot. It's like not a good movie, but I do watch it a lot.
That's your favorite bad movies, Den of Thieves?
I don't know if it's my favorite bad movie, but it's not bad. It's a good bad movie. I'll put it that way.
Okay.
You don't watch comedies, it sounds like.
You know what my problem is? People will be like,
funny.
yo, you should check this out. And then I'll be like a dickhead and not. Like everyone told me to check out like Rami. Like I've heard really good things. So like that's kind of been on my list. But like, I like to put it off. Pen 15 is fire. Pen 15 is really
That's
good.
great.
John, do you fuck with Money Heist?
Some people have told me to check it out. I haven't checked it out. That's the Spanish one, right?
Yeah. The first season, the first couple seasons are pretty good. It lost me, but it's worth a.
I don't think there's heists per se. Well, no, there are. 000.
I don't even know what that one is.
That's British too. We know Jon Moy loves his fucking.
It's not.
I love a good British movie.
I don't know if it's British, but it's like.
Isn't it? Aren't they British?
It's European. It's from the continent?
There's three storylines. One's in Mexico, one's in Italy, and one's in America.
Oh, never mind.
And they're all like interconnected.
Isn't it a BBC show? Oh no, wait.
No, it's on Amazon Prime.
Oh, never mind.
What is it about? 000.
It's
like conspiracy shit?
There's like mafia buyers in Italy. There's the Coke suppliers in Mexico. And then there's the American transporters, and it's kind of like there's like a coup of the narcos by like some military dudes in Mexico. There's the American transporters that are like a family shipping dynasty and dealing with their shit. trying to like pull off like one
Sounds right up
last
my
deal.
alley.
And then the Italians are like the Don Capo. The Don is like trying to like secure his place at the head of like the five families, whatever. But his like grandson is coming for the throne.
Who Gabriel Byrne? Does he use his Irish accent? That's maybe what I was.
No,
thinking of.
he's American.
Oh, got it. He fucking rules, dude.
Yeah, he's really
Great
cool.
actor. Miller's Crossing. I mean, goddamn, bro.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Big recommend.
And I don't think
it's only
on
8
Netflix.
episodes.
Oh, sweet.
It's on Amazon.
Oh, this is the premiere season or whatever. It's just one.
It must have cost like $5 million to make each episode because they're shooting in 3 different locations. It's like very intricate. Like
Sick. I want to check this out. Oh, this was Drake's favorite show. During
me, Big Jimmy, Big Horny, Big Hidden, and Big Scorp are on the group text talking about his 0.
ZZZ.
Yes, that's nil.
Yeah.
I don't think it's on Netflix anymore, but I like Gamora. That was fire.
Oh yeah, great movie.
Yeah.
Everyone's on everyone's Tumblr.
Gian brought this up as like a big Tumblr stills, or it was a stills factory for my Tumblr, Gamora the movie, but the show is good.
Yeah, the show's good.
There's a show?
That's what he's talking
like
about.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was such a popular movie, or I kind of popular in the way like City of God, I think, was popular, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't like a huge hit.
Every college freshman had the poster up.
Right, exactly. No, I think it was, but anyway, sure.
The kid in the Speedo with the gun.
Like kind of like that.
Like the skinny kids with the AKs. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Malnourished
child soldiers of the Sicilian mob. Or the
Rocket.
Yeah.
All right, Moy, we want to know, and we know you took a bit of a copping hiatus there, but we want to know the last John you copped and the next John you copped, last John, next John, full retail, no flow team. What was the last John you copped?
I think it was does books count?
No, garments.
No, absolutely not.
Shit.
Nice try. Nice try, motherfucker.
The last thing I bought, fuck. I'm trying to like sort out all those charity Johns. You know what I mean? Like they all come at once. So like, you know,
it would have been RT. It would have been RT.
No, I bought something after that. I'm not gonna lie. It was like the Foresight Befriends Blindness from Cult Days.
Not familiar. Sounds cool.
You guys say you know about fashion.
Yeah, we say we're for the culture, but we're actually capping.
Yeah,
fuck the culture. We're on a mission trying to ruin culture.
Succeeding.
Carhartt balaclava for the winter.
Oh, nice. For blowing up ATMs.
Yeah.
Is it one cutout or like with the eyes in?
No. I don't do the raccoon shit. I straight like this one.
All right, word.
Yeah,
you think it's the racist with the Gucci one
with the Gucci ski goggles on top.
No. I do want to get like an embroidered balaclava.
Like a teardrop?
That's
not a teardrop, but something cool.
Who's the
I saw
guy?
like someone did like polo ones with like the polo guy.
Ooh.
It was fire.
Who is the James? You'll know the rapper guy who was singing the country song.
RMR.
It's fire. I love that.
Didn't he have the teardrops embroidered on his balaclavas in the video?
I don't know about that, but he had
the face tats on them. Someone needs to do.
Yeah,
face tats.
he had like some shit in the middle, but he also had like the full gold and was big guns like that. Yo, that album is so good.
It's really good.
nine track album.
Yeah, it's good.
And what's the next John you got?
Oh, good.
What's the next John you got your eye on? You're gonna pull the trigger on soon.
Oof. That's tough. Yeah.
There's just so many that you're gonna.
I almost bought like the Union Air Max. I think those are just out. Yeah, I like those. Those look comfy.
Today, right?
Comfy. Today or yesterday, yeah, something like that.
Yesterday.
Yeah, honestly, it's probably gonna be like a goopy like jacket or like shirt. They're fire. I'm telling you.
It just sounds like knockoff Goop, dude. Gwyneth Paltrow should don't listen. Who knows if Gwyneth Paltrow listens to this podcast? We don't want her to get the fucking C&D ready.
Yeah, don't turn down. Like, aren't you guys gonna do it? You guys will do. I heard you do a DraftKings ad read. You'll do a Goop ad read.
DraftKings. It was mybookie.ag. Okay.
Oh, my bad.
I do a Goop ad read. Are you kidding me? First of all, that would make the. Yeah, I want to talk about the pussy candles. Pussy. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, Gwyneth Paltrow's Goop. That's what her nickname for her lady part. Her Goop. That's my getting some Goop, some glow.
She made a candle that
smells like it. No,
she made a candle the scent was supposed to be her vagina.
Yeah. The scent is my Goop.
Oh, cool.
And it brings all.
No, it was my vagina. It was straight up my vagina.
Yeah, I'm just
my vagina.
It was supposed to be Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina, like her.
That's what she said. Yeah.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know what Goop is actually named after. I think it's her nickname or something. I think because people, or I don't know, some shit like that.
Better find out.
Yeah, we
She listens to the podcast. We better
1,000% we
out.
do
Look.
a fucking ad read for Goop.
Yeah,
Are you kidding me?
Of course.
I know you guys would
That would be incredible.
probably do an ad read for like a lot of things.
Yo, the Goop in-house workwear is incredible. Have you seen this shit? It's on my Zood board. It's like selling chore coats and double knees. It's incredible.
Yo, yeah.
Fire.
Oh, I kind of might want to get like insulated Carhartt bibs to walk around in the winter. You know, because it's not going.
You gotta be built different to survive the Detroit winter.
It was fucking cold here. Yeah.
All right, Moy, before we kick you out of here, we want to offer up some constructive criticism. You can take it, you can leave it. We highly, highly recommend.
Wait, don't I get to give you guys some?
No, we give it to you. We highly recommend you take this unusable recon and go on and further thrive. I'm going to offer you some. Lawrence going to offer you some. I'll start off first because Lawrence is Googling his own fucking Zood board, which is... He's gonna come. This is what's gonna happen. He's gonna come in 6 minutes later and be like, "Oh, that thing that I was talking about 6 minutes ago."
Nope, not gonna do it. Not gonna do it.
Very good podcast.
I was trying to look up the Union Air Mox, but whatever. Now that you're being a fucking dickhead about it.
Here's what I think you should do. You're making a tiny bit of money. You said,
Yeah.
Swallow your pride, kill your ego, fucking smash your idols, sell the fuck out, and finally take that blood money from Shinola.
I don't think they're gonna. There's no blood money for me there.
You never know if you're not gonna ask.
Oh, you mean I gotta hit him up for a job?
Yeah, pitch him on something.
Oh man, digital panhandling has got you comfortable with this. No.
It's a fucking outbound request, bro.
Just float in Shinola's DMs.
Why not?
I mean, the people that you
send them an edible arrangement. See if you can fucking,
I gotta imagine
the tides of history.
I gotta imagine the people you pissed off no longer work there.
Yeah,
probably accurate.
Yeah,
they were fired. Are you kidding me? They're like, have you seen what Jon Moy is saying about this company? You're all fired.
Yeah, right. It's a pandemic. I guess we should mend bridges instead of burn them.
Yeah,
sure. I'll take that.
Those bridges are shoddily built because they were not built in Detroit.
Yeah.
Yeah, just assembled
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of burning bridges, let's focus on creating bridges.
Yeah.
Kind of like what we're doing right now, having you on our podcast to talk about all of the work that is just in the works because you refuse to actually do any of it, John.
Ooh, coming from Lawrence, that cuts deeper.
But in the interest of maybe, getting things going, right? Preheating the oven. Why not work out some of those writing muscles and do the Throwing Fits newsletter or blog on our Patreon, or let us just paywall your brain and we can fucking figure out an arrangement.
All right. I'm down with that.
That arrangement might be edible.
Yeah. It might be.
Hey.
Yeah. Listen, man. You could either work for clout or we could have an arrangement that is edible.
Work for clout. Oh.
Yeah. Yo, it's a look.
It'll be great exposure. It'll be great exposure.
Yeah.
Wow.
Consider it. You don't have to decide right now. This is the segment.
So was it 18 million, right? That's a lot of clout.
18 million. That's a lot of edible arrangements, bro.
Am I going to get a mention in like the next, like what it's going to be if it's not the New Yorker? What is it, like Washington Post article or like Wall Street Journal?
Right. It's going to be the Paris. It's the Paris Review of Books.
Paris Review.
And the ISIS Daily.
It'll be the Breitbart Review of Books.
Yo, you bring on another brown person though, Breitbart might cut you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's true.
Damn.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Cancel Fraser Tharp. All right. You do all this consumption of heist this, gang that, robbery, blah, fucking thievery, blah, blah, blah. Stop being a fucking poser, Jon Moy. You already have the knowledge. You already have the wherewithal. Join a fucking gang. Kill a motherfucker and then start scamming some ATMs.
Yeah, or start a gang.
Stop talking about it. Be about it.
I mean, that never ends well, though. You guys got to watch to the end of the season.
I saw Capone. He shat his pants, and then everything seemed to go okay.
Yeah, he's probably the best case scenario. But I think he died of syphilis in jail. So
but everyone died of syphilis. Everyone died of syphilis back then. Napoleon died of syphilis.
I've seen the Michael Mann documentary Heat. It ends happily ever after, right?
Yeah, big flames. Yeah.
Yeah. You know,
Sure,
when you feel the heat around the corner, get out some fucking glizzies and start grilling because the boys
if you're
are
not
coming over and they're going to eat 24 and 24 hours.
And if you're not going to join a gang, start a gang, the Moy Boys.
Yeah.
The Moyegas.
No, the Proud Moys.
Wow. Yeah, thanks, Chuck. Thanks for the just.
Chuck, stand by. Stand by, Chuck.
Chuck gives you guys a PU. Like,
Chuck has crunched the numbers, and it's still disgusting.
Chuck, stand back, and stand by.
Gromrads, stand down and stand by. James and I are getting out of pocket.
Getting active.
We're hitting that hour, the magic hour.
Yeah, we're hitting hour 4 of the podcast. Okay, finally, John. Whenever Jon Moy's Mad Rants launches on our good friend Jeremy Kirkland's Blammo Media podcast network.
Empire. Yeah.
The Empire. You should think about having us as the first guests when you kind of like do the non-rant thing. You should have us.
Yeah.
We are available. We have nothing else going on. We apparently just are biting off more than we can chew as far as podcasting. You're our 5th podcast in 4 days. Tomorrow will be 6 podcasts in 5 days. Why not just absolutely do this until we have nothing
Till
else
the wheels
left
fall
to
off.
say? Yeah, till the ride
guys,
this
like,
bitch
good
till the wheels
podcast
fall
guests,
off.
Life is a highway.
Yeah.
What?
What's up? What do you
Like,
say?
how much experience do you have being guests on other people's podcasts?
I was
Not a
on
lot,
Wednesday.
right?
Yeah.
We were both on
together
Wednesdays
or
gone.
separately.
Together one.
That's a
maybe
tough
more.
one.
No, we went on
How'd it go?
KFC. We went on KFC radio.
Oh, we did go on KFC radio.
What
But
the fuck?
yeah.
Like the Colonel?
Yes,
No.
Yes,
This-
yes.
I was like, damn, I thought it was
James. It's not just yes, John. Absolutely. That's what we do. Anyway, just we're free to book with us.
Sure.
We just did one. It was it'll be out. People have heard it. We did a Pair of Kings. It was crazy. I thought it was the energy was very manic because when people have us on, the whole shit gets blown up off rip. We can do our thing easily because we're in charge. We know what to expect.
Yeah.
Someone else's shit.
Do they end up like just going your direction though? Like, do you find that the host?
Well, one kid
we're
had a
going out of
meltdown.
pocket.
Shout out my boy
Yeah.
Saul.
That's the thing. That's when we were like, hey, stop. You're not going to out us. Like, just be you. And that's fine.
Yeah, but I don't think
it's okay
they
to
were.
be you.
I don't think
Are
they
they
were
young
necessarily
kids?
trying to
They
do that, but
younger?
they
They were young. Yeah.
They got dragged into the mud. We drag motherfuckers down. You could attest. You've worked with us over many years. You understand.
You ever see that movie 1917? We're that tall, gangly motherfucker.
I haven't seen that movie.
They're the Germans.
Oh,
We're in World War I or II?
Yeah.
One. Oh, 1917, right? Duh.
Yeah.
yeah.
Good flick. All right, Moy, where can the kids follow you if they've made it to 3 hours and 15 minutes?
Instagram and Twitter is Moybian1212.
What's the significance of the 1212?
I think I like it 1212. You know what I mean? It just goes well with it.
1212.
Rolls off the tongue.
Some De La Soul shit.
1-2. Turn me up.
Probably
in
like
half
some
one.
other kid just
2-1-2.
misspelled Moybian, and so it's taken too at some point.
I thought,
probably.
I thought it was like I thought it was a New York reference, like 212.
I was in the 2-1.
No,
Mic
more
check,
like a
1,
microphone
2,
check.
who is
1,
this?
2, 1, 2, not
Yeah.
2, 1, 2.
Got it. All right. Is there anything you want to plug?
Yeah.
Where can the kids read your work?
Yeah, 316. Check it out. Subscribe to the thing, and then I actually
Zood letter.
and then I should just put it out there. And then I have to do it. But at the height or at the beginning of the pandemic, MailChimp let you register free domains. I got Jon Moy, so
Ooh,
might be something
nice.
coming there.
All right.
Oh yeah.
All right, Moy. Thank you for coming on to the
Thanks, John.
only podcast that matters.
Thank you, guys.
Chef, I'm gonna need you to hit that YBN Namir and or Fetty Wap and or Moody Man and or Wayne and or RMR. Chef, slap that motherfucking music.
Look, baby girl, you're so damn fine though. I'm trying to know if I can hit it from behind though. I'm sipping on you like some fine wine though. And when it's over, I press rewind though. Ay, you talking bands, girl, I got it. Benjamin's all in my pocket. I traded in my truths for some robbers. You playing Batman, Fetty's gonna rob her. Ay, I got a Glock in my Rari. Ay, 17 shots, no 38. Ay, I got a Glock in my Rari. 17 shots, no 38. I'm like, yeah, she's mine. Wonder when she'll be mine. She walked past like praise, rewind. You see that ass one more time. And I
Is it money or it's me? I smoke 20, smell old. I got honeys in my V. They like Monty, can you be my baby daddy? I'm like, yeah. I got robins on my jeans. You see the wings on every pair. All you see is Remy boys. You know my niggas everywhere. And if somebody got a problem, we could meet up anywhere. Now go say some. Don't you niggas play